Well, welcome back to Victory Sports for the 2022-23 New South Wales State Championships. It's time to press play in Wollongong City Council for our State Championship Women's Fours Round 3. We have a Pottsville versus Dubbo City clash, and Benny Crickstelitis went out and had a chat with the ladies before they started off. Morning, Ben.
Good morning, yeah. Interesting bunch of ladies here. The really good spirits. They've all got nicknames for their bowls, and they're really proud of the bowls they're using, actually. Some beautiful colorations, and you'll hear them, you'll hear me talking about that. And where's Shelley over there? Anyway, they've all got nicknames. You'll hear me talk about it through the game, and some big support for both these teams, Dubbo City and Pottsville. Those purple uniforms of Pottsville are very popular. I'm sure this game will be up in their club.
We've actually hit start a little early. I think they're only playing their first trial end.
Oh, that's okay. We can talk about them a little bit then. It's I can talk about something else while we're here. As much I could talk about these ladies all day. But yesterday, what happened after the Karen Murphy team? Karen Murphy, Ellen Faulkner, Ellen Ryan, and Jamie. Is it Jamie? I forgot. I've completely blanked out. Warsnop. Jamie Lee Warsnop. Can't believe I blanked on that. I went and spoke to her. So sorry about that, Jamie Lee. Only won by one shot, so the St George's Basin girls putting up a massive effort, and that was all I was hearing about yesterday after the games. And the talk here, the talk this morning, and last night, getting a lot of messages about that game, asking if that result was correct as well. So congratulations to them. They've certainly made a name for themselves. And Sue Moore being now a Victory Sports bowler. It was nearly a turn-up, nearly a strange one.
So we'll have a quick update of the state of play in this competition as we watch them play their second trial end. In Section 1, the Foster team, skipped by Sarah Boddington, they lead the section with 2 wins and a plus 16. Ahead of Seaforth and Barrel, who have both won 1 game each, and Edelong, unfortunately, I think their campaign is over with no wins. Section 2, we have our section leaders here, which is Jill Morris, Marie Comerford, Patricia Pollard and Coral Nathan. They've had 2 wins and they're plus 14. Dubbo City on 1 win plus 4, which is Laurace Lawson, Deborah Hayden, Carmen, McDonnell and Michelle Harkin. So a 5-shot difference in the scores in this game will put them equal on margin, and would then, I think, throw Dubbo City through on a better for and against record. Better against record, actually, to get the percentage right. But it would also open the door for the Narrabri team of Debbie Gleeson, Janice Fox, Lisa Pillar and Lorraine Scott to have a good win over Dalmini. So Narrabri 1 win plus 1. Dalmini has yet to register a victory. Section 3, as you said, with a 1-shot victory yesterday afternoon, is the Cabramatta Powerhouse team. Jamie Lee Worsnop, Ellen Ryan, Ellen Faulkner and Karen Murphy. They lead the section over second place Engadine, who we had in our stream yesterday. They've lost to Cabramatta already. St George's Basin 1 win plus 3, and our Condobolin team, who will be up against Cabramatta this morning on no wins. Section 4, we have an effective quarter-final with Raymond Terrace up against NBC Sports. That's Sharon McReynolds, Charlotte Hayman, the junior, Jen Delves and Tash Van Eldick. They have the best for and against margin ahead of Julie Lovejoy Kennedy, Catherine Weir, who's only just been bowling for less than 12 months, Angela Platt and Maylene Reynolds. So they'll be fighting it out, and the Lawson and Commercial Albury teams have a clash for pride.
And they'll be out here having a good time as everyone else is. I'm not going to crunch in your ear, but Andrew brought me some fruit toast this morning, which is just lovely of him. So thanks for that. I haven't had that in years.
So in the men's fours, which we will have the semi-final of this afternoon, Section 1, Lee Schreiner on top of the table with 2 wins plus 18, ahead of Park Beach, Corey Daly skipped team, and Shannon White Foster, both with 1 win and lots of work to do. Darren Moore of Lavington with no wins at the bottom of the table. Section 2, our streaming games from yesterday, Mark Willie, Kyle Henson, Simon Little, David Axon of Tarrant Point. They're the 2-game winners in that section, ahead of Denniston and Corrimal, both with 1 win each. And Curry slumped 2 defeats.
I get to say that one of those guys taught me how to say Aberystwyth, the name we were struggling with yesterday from Wales. So thanks for that. So
Denniston will go ahead of Tarrant Point with a victory over them, but if they do, they'll open the door for Corrimal to have a good win over Curry to get through. In Section 3, Benny Twist's St John's Park team well ahead of the race there with 2 wins. That's Craig Donaldson, David Ferguson, Matt Peterson and Ben Twist. They're ahead of Penrith and Halakalani, which Trent Whittingham and Hemi Palmer skipped teams, both with 1 win. And the North Tamworth team, well, they will be going home this afternoon for sure. And in Section 4, Zone 4, celebrating Grenfell being on top of the table. They've had a couple of victories. That's Steve Galvin, Daniel Tisdall, Peter Mead and Blake Bradkey. And the Kingscliff team skipped by Peter Duncan and the Boris Schneider's Marimbula Quartet, both on 1 win each. And the St Ives team, a couple of narrow losses at the bottom, and they cannot go through. But Grenfell, with a victory this afternoon, will proceed to the semi-finals. So just a few bowls of the trial ends left to go.
Tomo giving you some grief there, mate. He said at least Andrew buys you something. He was lucky to get a shout of a glass of water.
Oh,
it's off to an early start.
I just thought with the 18-course breakfast you'd had earlier, Tomo, you wouldn't want anything.
Made me a cup of tea as well this morning, by the way, Tomo. Cop that.
So at the other 2 venues, Wiseman Park, Wollongong City and Georgie Park, the senior men's fours, open reserve fours and senior women's fours are underway. In the senior men's fours, St John's Park leads Section 1, Old Bar leads Section 2. Our senior singles champion, Chris Layfelt, leads Section 3. And we've got 4 teams all on one win: Nelson Bay, Glen Innes, Blacktown Workers and Tathra in Section 4. So a big shootout this afternoon in that one. In the reserve 4s, this is in no particular order because I'm just clicking the buttons, we have 2 teams that will win and a draw at the top of Section 1. NBC Sports on top with a superior margin over Birrong Sports. And Gaimea with 1 win and Gunnedah out of the running. Bit of a shame. The family team's not going to go through. 4 members of the family. Craig Cameron, Charlie Cameron, Joe Briggs and Ella Cameron. Unfortunately for our mum and dad and 2 daughters, they won't be going through. Section 2, Singleton RSL on top with 2 wins, ahead of Fig Tree and Foster with 1 win. Narandra out of the picture. Section 3, Malua Bay on top with 2 wins. There you go, Tomo, I'm nice to you. Ahead of Campbelltown with a 1 win and a draw each for Nelson Bay, South Tweed. Not good enough. They definitely can't get through. In Section 4, effective quarter-final between Port City and Pittwater with Condobolin and Breakers Womberall out of the picture. In the women's senior... Oh, let's try the 4s. I've got the wrong one there. I want the senior women's 4s. I had the pairs open on my computer. That wouldn't do us any good, would it?
No.
So in Section 1, Tarrant Point on top with 2 wins ahead of St John's Park and Windsor. Bomaderry, sorry supporters, your team won't get through. In Section 2, we've got North Haven on top with 2 wins ahead of DY and Ballina with 1 win each, and Lake Kajiligo, their campaign effectively over. Is something not quite right in that section?
Yeah, we'll have to have a look at that one. But viewers are starting to stream in, mate. We've got lots of people from Pottsville, as I predicted.
Might be a game not going to be played, I don't know. I'll have to check that one, but Soldiers Point, Charlestown, Marimbula and Armidale City is a forfeit. That's why that is through. So Soldiers Point and Marimbula will be playing. Armidale City, unfortunately, had a couple of players who weren't able to come. I know the reason now. So it's Soldiers Point versus Marimbula. Soldiers Point can claim the section with a draw. Marimbula will need a 12-shot win to jump over the top of Soldiers Point. And I don't think Charlestown can get there. They're on a -4. So, yep, that's the state of play in Section 3. And in Section 4, Toongabbie on top with 2 wins ahead of Windang and Club Tumut with a win each. And Dubbo City will be finished up this afternoon.
Very good. That's a good summary, mate. Thanks for that. Well done. As we go around, just on our first end now, the couple of looks of disappointment straight away, which is mind-blowing. These teams come from, I just looked them up, Pottsville being right up near the Gold Coast, probably our most northerly travellers. It'd be pretty...
Kingscliff.
Kingscliff, yeah, we got them here too.
I think Kingscliff's slightly north of Pottsville.
Yeah, just up there. But good 10-hour drive from there to Dubbo.
And our South Tweed sports team is further north as well.
There you go. So, look, yeah, they're from far and wide, obviously, and Dubbo way out west and northwest of where we are. I've just discovered that there's a Guy Fawkes River National Park up there. I'm going to have to visit that in November.
Don't forget,
fun.
I grew up in that district.
Did you?
Yes.
Oh, and Guy Fawkes?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm a Tweed Byron.
That's it. You're a northern
junior bowler.
And Dave Shaw, Go Grenfell leading their section. Yeah, it's some exceptional bowlers going around. It's some exceptional games. These are... And this will be no different. Like I said, these are country teams, and I genuinely love the country teams myself. The country clubs, they're my favourite, and these are the friendliest people I've gone up and spoken to so far in this tournament. I speak to everyone before the games, and these are magnificent. These bowls here, they're not showing up on the camera. Maybe probably my screen resolution's off, but they're the reddest bowls. If you imagine red, that's the red that those bowls are, and the Minnie Mouse logos on them. Taylor GTR, Taylor Red Lines, my apologies. And Patricia Eakin there, cheering from Pottsville from afar. Thank you very much for being on the coverage. I hope this, if the club opens soon, or when the club opens, I hope it's they put it up on the screen. These ladies deserve a bit of fame, a bit of infamy, I guess. So the other game I'm interested in this lot in the state women's fours is the Tash Van Eldick Raymond Terrace game and the NBC Sports one. Maylene Reynolds and I can tell you Julie Lovejoy Kennedy are both up and about over there. They're both playing exceptional bowls. I'm hearing reports through of them, and they might challenge Raymond Terrace, who seemed to... Oh, wow. That bounced nicely. But, yeah, really getting some traction on these greens, and... yeah, the talk is all about whether they can challenge them, because Tash has, a score difference of 55 at the moment. That's
big.
That's big, but you look at NBC Sports, they're on 36, and plus of 2 wins and 36. So, yeah, huge game in that Section 4.
Well, followers of women's bowls in New South Wales will know the name Coral Nathan. She's pops up in plenty of events at the serious end. And I've got to pop out and say hello to Carmen McDonnell.
You really should.
Because Carmen is one of the people who is a big worker for Dubbo City and has very kindly worked on some qualifying events such as the rookies for us. So.
Now that was Michelle Harkin's bowl called Shelley. That's what it says in her badge. We had a chat this morning about that. My wife's name is Michelle, and she hates being called Shelley. There's one person in the world allowed to call her Shelley. It's her cousin, because she's scary. Her name's Melinda. But Shelley, a lovely lady, and this lady here from Pottsville, Coral Nathan, as you were saying, has been here all week. She was in the singles, I think, too, wasn't she? Senior singles?
I don't recall. My brain has gone...
Yeah. Well, as Ann Seymour was saying, I think, good morning, gentlemen. You must be very tired now doing the streaming. Yeah, actually, you're not wrong. It does. We're a bit tired. It was funny. We were saying, people were saying, are you over it? And I said, no, I'm not over it. I love it and love the game. But, yeah, we're tired. We've got 4 more days, and absolutely love it. But, yeah... Wouldn't mind there's nothing 13, 14 hours of sleep wouldn't fix it, I don't think.
Well, the latest arrival here I've had is 7:10, and that was this morning because I called in and picked up
the fruit toast
for breakfast.
Yeah, the fruit toast and the muffins. He's a good man. I had some, as you can imagine, good shot there by Coral. Close. I love the way she covers her eyes. Puts her hand, I noticed it because that's how I recognise it from the senior singles or the singles she played earlier. Carmen Plaza just saying yes, and she marked the game. Puts her hands up around the visor of her hat to watch her bowl go down. At the end of it, yep.
It's a big count to start with.
Morning, Karen, yeah. Go the Pottsville ladies, especially Marie, get into them. Yeah, big start big start there for Pottsville. That's
4.
Well, that's a 4, and that's exactly how you want to start a game, I guess, like this. So playing to 21 ends. No respots. It's replays, same as pennant rules. I guess you'd say the familiar pennant rules, and
all ends to be completed, with the exception that if there is no way the section result can be altered, we will allow a round 3 game to be conceded.
Now this lady, beautiful lady here, Jill Morris. See how she's holding the jack and throwing it with the right hand. She's had a fall this week. Sadly, first day actually she was here, and she thinks she's got a broken bone in that right hand. But she's playing on. She, went out and went to shake the hands, and she offered me her left hand, and playing through some pain here. This tough lady. So good on you, Jill. And Crab in the house, on the live stream. Good to see you here again, mate. Another real bowls tragic. Loves it down there at Berwick. One of the best bowls uniforms getting around Berry at the moment too, by the way. Black and white, sadly, but John Koenig go Pottsville. Yeah, Pottsville get a lot of love here, but so did Dubbo, by the way. It's a beautiful bunch of people.
You would like a little club down the road from Pottsville called Burring Bar.
Oh, yes?
And they had a sign up that said 7-course lunch special. It was a pie and a 6-pack.
oh my goodness, that's perfect. I'm in. So where was that? I'm gonna write that down.
Don't know if it's still up. But
that's fantastic. Oh, great shot there. So Jill's actually using. I can't remember whether it was Jill. I don't think it is Jill. Actually, might be Laurace Lawson. Laura Lawson there using an older set of XGs. Black, they've got the Tweetyberg logo, so you'll hear the ladies yell, "Go Tweety, go Tweety." They really, as I said, they nickname all their bowls. The other ones, the green ones, are called Squiddy. Nathan Bazant's playing at Husky today. I'm jealous. He's playing at my club. Whoop whoop, indeed. Tom Graham from Bandora, good on you. Yeah, we just had a mention of the weather there. Yeah, it's stunning. This is probably the best day we've had, I think. There's very little dew. There's no wind, but it's warm and it's actually a little humid. But
listening to the chief meteorologist on the radio this morning, I think he might have been the person on duty. Unseasonably warm in the morning. It was around 13 degrees at Albion Park and Blamby, where the two weather stations are in this area. Around about the 60-70% humidity mark, which meant it felt very warm as well. Tops of around about 23 expected in this area. Some light cloud and possibly a very light shower, but only well away from the coast in the forecast area.
Yeah, I think over the other side of the mountains, the Great Dividing Range, but that's good insight because that's exactly what it felt like this morning. It's beautiful out there. It was nice walking around. I've got my lighter jumper on today, and I was a bit worried, but no need to stress.
I'm just struggling to work out who's got shots there because
just
with the angle of the sun, it's a little bit difficult to tell, but I think it's Laurace's bowl. There's the black one just short on the centre line.
They'll look pretty black to me at the moment. That's why I'm not brave enough to call at the moment. The red ones really stand out, but everything else looks kind of black.
And they're fire engine red.
Andrew Fogwell, and we can say hot rod red.
Even better.
Andrew Fogwell, morning, mate. Thanks for
Ferrari red.
For saying, Ferrari red. But yeah, they're a beautiful colour.
I think Shelley was just indicating that bowler's shot.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or was the one to beat.
I've got an interesting one here. I'm looking at the other end where the Pottsville ladies are standing. They've very, very shy of the camera. They said, "Oh, that little slide. That's right on the little squiddy. Through it comes. That's the squiddy bowl, the white with the green flecks, and that's come through beautifully on a little slide." But yeah, a bit camera shy, so they're staying on outside that line there. They're giving themselves that instruction. I didn't tell them to do that. They said they see a lot of bottoms on our coverage. I think they're right. They do. Philip Lovekey saying they're all light black or dark black. Yeah, agreed. Yes, they are. Not these ones, bright yellow bowls. I'm interested to see how these come in. This is the first real indication of the turn on that side that I think I'm going to get, and that without crashing in, because they're premiers. They're not a huge drawing bowl. They're turned in a long way.
And they're a white with a red fleck from Shell.
Oh yeah, bright pink actually. That one there. So it's a hot pink fleck and hot pink paint in a white bowl. I think they're one of the more unique ones I've seen as well. I told Shelley I'd like to steal them off her because I like the colour, but they're a little bit small for me. I think size 1s. They stand out though. She said she had a set of white ones, so I won't say the brand just in case I get in trouble, that actually broke. She had one crack in half. Took it back and got a new set.
Look, like any manufacturing process, there's going to be the odd defect that's not picked up.
Oh, yeah, 1 in thousands.
And she was just the unlucky one. It could be an inspection process to inspect bowls by having an X-ray, which would show up any gaseous inclusions.
Yeah, little bubbles is what you don't want.
However, for the cost of installing it, you may find that it's...
Get some new ones.
Yeah.
So that's 3 to Dubbo.
For the frequency of it happening, I think it's probably the case of maybe not. And I'll have to... Yep. Okay. I know why it's not happening.
So we're just updating the scores, and I noticed they're up straight up there now. Well done, mate. Good button to push. And yeah, so 7-3 after 2, high scoring game to start with. So who's on next door, mate? Is that Narrabri versus Dalmeny? It is.
Yep. The other game in this section.
Those Narrabri ladies are a fun bunch of girls too. They're up here having a great time. I haven't had much to do with the Dalmeny ladies. I slightly spoke to them, but they were off in the corner having a team meeting when I was up there, so I didn't really get to speak to them. I love that hat. That's Marie. No, that's Trisha. No, that's Jill. Take your pick, Ben. One of those. She's yeah, Jill. I love that hat. We had a good talk about that. She said I could fit my mohawk through the top of it.
Laurace.
Laurace. Yeah, and it'd cover the rest of it.
Just keep going through the 8 names. We'll get there eventually.
Laurace. Yeah, I was on the wrong thing. She's a lovely lady anyway. We had a good laugh about that.
I've got them written down here with their bowl colours.
That's it. I'm trying to remember their names. I've met so many people this week. This is a real festival of bowls over 13 days, and we get to meet so many people, so many lovely people, and it's hard to remember the names at times.
Look, I'll get people come up to me and say, "Oh, how you going?" And as if I'm the long lost mate, and it's like, I played in the rookies in 2004, and it's like,
I met you
okay.
I met you 10 years ago once. And it's not a disparagement. It's just they've got a good memory of that time and a good memory of you when they meet. But sometimes you meet so many people, it's hard to keep them all in mind. Nan Smith watching from Finley. Good morning, Nan. Good to see you again. And that is the narrower hand. I played with a bit of weight there just to move Jack off the, maybe Jack off or bowl off the line. Just crashing into one of the front ones. Staff here just looking after us again as they have been all week, mate. This is a great club, Victory Sports. Brilliant service, brilliant food, brilliant hospitality. So I'm just delivering some food that I ordered. There's a big crowd up there, but some food I forgot that I ordered before I ate my fruit toast, and now I have to eat too many things.
You'll battle on bravely.
Oh, mate, that's why I'm a fighting fit man.
Finely tuned athlete.
Yeah. Here come the squiddies.
It's a nice little shot for her to pop that through the gap.
Yeah, probably looking to finesse it a little bit there. Maybe coming at it more directly might be the way to go, but she's got two bowls and played the wider hand, and they're still very much learning learning this green. It is a little different to the other ones they've played on.
Well, the black and green are both her teams. The red are against her, so it could be one up, one down, either way. But a nice little change of the head there, just to split those two and pop the jack through to her own bowl. But that's against her. Oh, actually,
wow.
It's maroon. The maroon's against her anyway. The maroon and the red. Top effort, that one. That was a nice little change of the head. Yep.
It was beautiful.
And there is a winner there as well. Reaching up, it's your own. You've got the 2 third woods. So, good couple of feet away. You get contact on the second shot bowl, pop the Ferrari onto the jack, it comes back to your own, or just get the inside of the black, which is your own, you can come off and get the jack as well.
Yeah, great bowl. Brett Nathan just sitting out, agreed. Kane Carmichael will go the Malure Bay Open Reserves and the other Zone 7 teams. Yeah, there's, I think it's an Open Reserve Maroonula team. We've got the St George's Basin girls playing down there in the women's fours. That's a pretty good attempt.
Oh, yeah, just a little unlucky.
Yeah.
Although that shot's still available, you can get the split. I think the maroon will lock in on the black. But if you get the split, you might be able to just push that fire engine through. Fire engine or Ferrari, that's what I'm going to be calling it all day.
Hot Rod Red. I use the Iron Man reference, but it's well, that's good cover.
It's the inside of that. Yeah, great home. Well bowled.
So, yeah, not a lot of work for either skip to do there. Both have got really good options.
Let's try something different.
Let's look at the start of the Wollongong ad there. So, I actually really like that ad, by the way. I've seen it a lot this week. Oh, look at this.
I'll give you the tip.
Replay.
You'll see it again.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Well, there's some more of it.
I just don't want to watch that guy's golf swing again. Everyone's commented on that this week too.
Hey, it gets your attention. I'll figure out the buttons to push eventually.
I was going to say we're getting a real run of that at the moment. I'm sure the Destination Wollongong people won't object. It's getting into people's minds. But having said that, it's a really great area. I've certainly
That's
seen.
Visit wollongong.com.au.
Yeah, oh, here comes those pink flecks of fleck bowls of Shelley.
And the iconic start of it, of course, the combi going over the Seacliff Bridge. The part of Lawrence Hargrave Drive where they've engineered a bridge that goes out over the water. Nice to walk across it. I've done that.
Yep. Walked it, driven it. I've walked underneath it, taken some really cool photos down there because there's the remnants of one of the old coal mines down the cliff face coal mines.
Coal Cliff.
Well, Coal Cliff, yeah, and you can walk down there and see the black line in the cliff where the there's still some coal seams in there.
That's why it's called Coal Cliff.
Exactly right.
It was actually
That's
named.
gone the wrong way.
It was actually named by some of the early explorers. Might have been Flinders, who spotted it.
Yeah, that one just going the wrong way. That's the second one I've seen on this rink so far.
Oh, no, it's the
week.
third.
Second one I've seen, but yeah, third one down.
The charity tin will get to work out again.
That's it. And Coral just doing that.
Safe line.
Blocking out, yep. Safe line there, definitely. Good weight.
She's got a couple, doesn't really want to disturb it. I think that'll be 2 to Pottsville.
Just moving big red. Yep, there's she moved that one even though it was resting. I wouldn't normally do that, but very good.
So we're due to get a 1 this end, I think.
That's what I was going to say, 4-3-2.
We're getting more defensive as the game goes on.
Just more accurate. Yeah, but it's beautiful under that bridge, and some obviously some graffiti, but actually some really artistic stuff too. If you want to go and have a look, it's interesting little walk. Tough to get down to, tough to get out of, but worth it.
And there's the near the School of Arts at one end. There's a little park with a toilet that will talk to you.
What?
The talkie toilet.
I'm not going there. I just might tell me stories of what it's seen, and won't have seen anything good.
It's a high-tech toilet that will tell you that the door's locked, and if you sit there too long and don't move, apparently it will tell you that you need to move to make sure, otherwise it'll unlock the door. Just to make sure.
Perfect. And just down the road from that's the Scarborough Hotel, one of the really good place for lunch and just a great setting. And then just down the road from that is the Scarborough and Barra Bowling Club, the bowlo there.
Very picturesque place to play bowls.
I love it. It's one of my favourite clubs, run by some beautiful people with some real determination to get bowls going heavily in that area. So,
and if not one of the most scenic cemeteries in New South Wales.
Yeah,
just down.
Yeah, you're not
right
wrong.
On the point.
Right on the point. There's not a lot of future planning there, is it? Didn't think about that.
Oh, at the time it was made, I don't think it really mattered.
No, that's right. Well, the question now is got to be how long is too long to start building on top of on top of them.
But the beautiful area. We'll get back to the bowls, I think.
Sorry, we talked too much about Wollongong. Look at that. Sponsors, partners, lovely. But we are starting to see those tracks again. Earlier today than yesterday as the bowls come down. Which just means a little bit of moisture might be lifting through the turf now, as Matty Miles told us. And hoping to see Jackson with us later on. And I should mention Warren Shipley, shout out to you. He's probably watching. He's not feeling well today. He's not in, so good luck, mate. I hope you're getting better, and we see you later in the week. And if not, safe travels and get well soon.
He apparently could only manage 8 kilometres with a 10 kilometre swim this morning and was tired out. So
that's right.
And we will see the scores start to populate at the bottom of the screen before too long. Our wonderful people at each of the venues kindly providing those. Marie looks to be on a really good line here.
Yeah,
Coral's calling this
pretty
one
happy.
right down to the jack.
Oh, bellied it.
Little tickle around the corner.
Yeah, bellied it beautifully, stayed with it, and well, that's the best one by far. And a tough one to move off the line. There's bowls in front of it.
Nice high line. I'm not sure that'll get back down.
Yeah, maybe a little too high, left it hanging out a bit, but certainly that's the wider hand, has been for a while. You'll see they score 3-3 next door, so a couple of multiples on that rink as well.
A reminder that semi-finals of the state fours and state women's state fours, men's and women's, will be here at Fig Tree Sports this afternoon. And from 12 today.
Oh, yeah, 12 till 2 today, yeah.
To win a set of TAB branded bowls. Our event partners, TAB, running a closest to the jack. You get a chance to roll your bowl down. Closest to the jack without touching. If you're the closest today, you'll win a prize pack, which has got plenty of goodies in it, and I'm told a voucher from the club as well. And if you're the best over the entire championships, magnificent set of Drake's Pride bowls coming your way.
Yeah, and beautiful set, beautiful colour they are too. Those branded bowls. As the prize, they're fantastic. But it's really good fun. Come down and just try to get close, and you've got a good chance of winning the set of bowls for nothing. There's no entry fee. You just come down and have a roll, give them your name and your phone number, and away you go. And that's at Fig Tree Sports, just to clarify. Oh, just got reminded I should put the YouTube link into the live feed here once it shows up. There it is. And my usual reminder, everyone, don't click on anything that doesn't come from us in this live feed. Don't click on anything that you don't trust. Don't click on links in text messages, anything like that, because they're just scammers and they're trying to steal your stuff. We won't ask you to pay for this. Just come and watch and have a good time and enjoy the great bowls that are going down now. Oh, big, wide, arcing bowl. Just looking to miss that front one and nearly carry on to jack. It's a remarkable shot. Very accurate. This proves to her that it's possible, and she'll play the next one with a bit of confidence.
Jump onto the Bowls New South Wales website for some information as well. Check out our latest news. An exclusive offer in partnership with the VRC, the Victoria Racing Club. Pretty good package deal on offer. Just going to slide past. Show you that offer in just a moment. While they're talking about it, it's just waiting for this bowl to come down.
Yeah, and we'll have a chat about that, but a bit of work to do here from Shelley. There's a gap there, and they're calling that there through that little window created by the yellow Premier. Lady's walking quite close to the camera there, actually. Oh, it's a bit skinny on that side. So the Pottsville ladies move one out.
I'll tell you what, there is one huge advantage of doing the ladies' games is they grouped all the shot bowls together and you can know how many it is.
Oh, it's a habit I've picked up as well, and I get a bit of grief for it sometimes. But it just works. No, I'm not going to be able to really see this measure at the moment.
Have I got a deal for you there then?
Yeah, here it comes.
As long as the camera stops
Man,
zooming.
wants to stop zooming. Yeah. And that's another one. Let's see what 2 down. So that's 2 to Pottsville.
2 to Pottsville.
It was 2 in a row. We didn't get our 1. No symmetry. So 8-3 at the moment after a 4, a 2, and a 2 on that side to Coral Nathan's Pottsville team. Oh, look at that transition too.
So exclusive member offer with the VRC. What do you get? Racecourse admission, racebook, access to the tiered restaurant, views of the track, city skyline, 6-course menu, crystal beverage package, table service, flat screen TV on each table, access to the private betting facilities and VIP parking on the 16th of September for the Sofitel Girls' Day Out, or the TAB Turnbull Stakes Day on the 7th of October for 415. You need to quote Bowles NSW when you do that.
Yeah, down at Flemington Racecourse, and that's a fantastic package. I've had the privilege of being in the VRC members area in a very similar kind of package to that a couple of years ago for the Turnbull Stakes, and it was a magnificent facility and a great place to go, and a real once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, actually, I think, for that price we've got there as well. So thanks to the administration of Bowls New South Wales and the VRC for getting that together.
And if you want to see the TAB bowls, there they are. So that's this afternoon. From 2 to 4. 29th of July, that's today, isn't it?
Today is the 29th, yep. Daisy Day, go Pottsville. Agreed. There's 2 beautiful little Cavaliers you've got there too, by the way, Daisy. I do like dogs. Oh, look at this lead bowls from Jill, and that sore hand not bothering her at all. When I say sore, I mean ouch. Nathan Bazan was waiting for Sarah scores for ages, and we changed the screen. Oh, you cranky man, I'll just read them to you.
Make him wait.
Make him wait. You heard the man. No, I'll read him out. I just got to find her on the sheet. It's all about you, Crab, isn't it, man? It's 1-1 after 2 shots on the Sarah Boddington rink there, Nathan. And Clive Boddington agreeing with him. Apologies, gents.
Well, it's definite that we will not see Robbie Warren lift a 3rd winner's trophy for the championships. They're not going to progress in the 4s. I just saw Robbie's name pop up there. I thought I didn't mention him as a section leader. That's because he's not. Just looking to get down to that shot bowl.
Oh, and does it beautifully.
Got a bit of contact. Only problem is it's her teammate's bowl that she's just not.
Was it really? It was too. My apologies, it was Julie's bowl. Probably didn't want to hit it that hard. It's opened it up now for Dubbo to come in.
So just a reminder that this afternoon we'll have the men's 4s semi-final tomorrow, the women's 4s final in the morning, and Sunday afternoon, sorry guys, you're not going to get any games. It's a time for the mixed pairs to arrive, and then Monday, 3 rounds of mixed pairs, and then Tuesday, quarter-final, then semi-final and final of the mixed pairs. And that's it for the state championships. You can go into withdrawal symptoms for a couple of days. No bowls Wednesday, Thursday, from here anyway.
Yeah.
But then if you're starting to get those withdrawal symptoms, Friday afternoon, New South Wales versus Victoria. We'll be coming to you live through Bowls New South Wales.
Once again, yeah.
2 o'clock Friday, first test.
That's it. You and I'll be sitting next to each other again, watching the some really good games. Actually, I'm really looking forward to the Test series.
And then Friday evening, prime time, up against the footy. Who wants to watch that anyway? Only West Coast getting beaten.
Actually, don't know who's got the Friday night game that night, but most people will have the game on their device. Our game's on the device next to them while they're watching the screens.
Yeah, so the 5-test series against Victoria will bring you, I think we're bringing you 3 women's and 2 men's in that one. So the Friday evening will be the men's, I think. And then Monday, Tuesday, the over 60s, the seniors test series. They'll be coming to you as well.
So I think those beautiful bright red bowls, the Minnie Mouse bowls, are holding shot there at the moment. The Dubbo team, if this falls in, Shelley just urging it to roll over. They're going to have a close look. Coral getting the magic fingers out just to have a squiz. No real indication of who's got what, though.
So that's 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 of August. And then you really will go into withdrawal symptoms because it's a whole 11 days. Got to wait for us to be at Dubbo for the Junior Interzone 7-a-side. We'll bring you games there on the 19th and 20th, Saturday, Sunday. 3 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday, semi-final, final. And now after that, I'm not really sure what we're doing after that. A couple of guest jobs, I think, but...
Yeah, some guest jobs might be
we
down.
we won't mention them.
No, we won't mention them.
That's up to them to promote.
There's a few things going on, but I'm looking forward to getting some BowlsLink procedures up to date and running around and visiting clubs and districts and zones to do some training for BowlsLink and get everyone up to standard. And we'll work on a process of how we can get to you and make it better as well. Dave Thomas asking, Tomo asking, how many ends in the mixed pairs, mate?
Good question. I think it's 18 of 3-bowl pairs, but I don't want to say I think because someone will say you don't think. We'll just look at the conditions of play for 22-23 and the state mixed pairs. 3-bowl pairs over 18 ends with a 2 hours and 15-minute time limit. So we'll be getting underway at around about 8:30 on Monday morning with the first round, 11 o'clock-ish for round 2, and then around 2 o'clock for the third round, and a very similar timetable on Tuesday with the finals. I think we've just given ourselves an extra 15 minutes or so between round 1 and 2, just to let people swap it over. Carmen doing the absolute right thing there with the measure. Very stable base. Hands on the green for stability. It doesn't matter which camera I use, I can't quite see it. But it is one further shot to Pottsville. So they're just easing ahead in this game. It's now 9-3 after 5. Jill on the mat. That's fairly well back, and we're going to throw it just past the 21 metre mark. Oh, Matty's on almost the tee, so just over the 21 metre length. Jill, decent starter. Jill Morris. Laurace now on the mat. Got to admit, I wrote their first names down, so Laurace Lawson.
So Tom, there saying best of luck to Brad Thomas in the mixed pairs here. There with Joe Catley as well, by the way. So that's a bit of a dream team from the South Coast.
Got to say, I'm disappointed that Dave Thomas didn't qualify for the mixed pairs as well, because he could have drawn and played against his son in the first round, same as Camp Champs. I can mention that because Dave won that game. He's got the bragging rights.
All right, yeah. No, I didn't have enjoyed that actually. That would have been good to watch. But his boy's a good bowler and a very decent bowls organiser down at Ulladulla. Got some vision for the game they have down there, and brilliant club. I was about to say little, it's not. It's a brilliant club.
Had several games there. Played in the Winter Carnival a few times.
Yeah, great. Another club with a really great setting too. By the way, if they just knock that library down, who needs it, right? They have a beautiful view over the Ulladulla Harbour. Oh, good shot. Kicked it sideways. A lot of support for it. I think that's their bowls there too, isn't it? I can't really...
Oh, we're in that time of the day where the shadow is on the back side of the bowl, pointing at the camera, and all the bowls look black.
They do.
I have no idea how to fix that. There's no
think
setting I can adjust.
That's it. We played around a bit and not much, but you can really see the tracks of the bowls are leaving now, and that's going to draw the moisture up, and that's the reason that's happening. And it's just shows it might end up being a pretty warm day, mate. You said 23 degrees.
23 expected.
It's pretty remarkable for the end of July. I can assure you that's quite warm.
It did say it should be 3 to 4 degrees warmer than average.
It's been the hottest July ever worldwide. Well, we say ever, that's not entirely true, since records began. I'm sure the early Earth was a little bit... Fireball Earth was a little bit warmer than that, but since human habitation, you'd say it's... and we're going to bake this summer, I can tell you now.
Well, since records, not necessarily since the beginning when there was the word.
And clinking into that front bowl, moved it a fairly long way though. It's still coming in. Are they the Pottsville bowls there? This is going to be the question. Did we get that one, did we?
I did.
You a beauty.
It's 9-3 after 5.
That's good. We've got 4-3, 2-2-1 as the scores go through.
We're playing the...
pushing it a bit narrow, I think, for that weight.
Even numbered ends back towards the bunker.
Dean Andrews asking if we can send it down to Marupna. Down in Victoria? No, mate. I'll keep it here, thanks.
Players at the mats at the cabana end.
Mm-hmm.
Jack's at the bunker end.
Oh, look. She's done that twice now. Those little red Minnie Mouse bowls of the the hot red, or what were you calling it? Ferrari red bowls?
Ferrari. Let's see if we can get side on view and just get a better view of what bowls what. Oh, it is much better side on. Once this bowl comes in.
So that's a better line. I don't know about the weight though. Looks very strong. Yeah, I think she was just pushing through a bit. Yeah, wow, look at the colour difference.
So the blue and with the white specks, Jill's bowls from
The lead, yeah.
and the red are also Condong. The green at the back is Deborah's bowl, which is Dubbo City. And someone forgot to turn there.
And Doctor Who just turned up in here. Excuse me, everyone.
It's a Wollongong number. I better answer this. It might be your accommodation.
Yeah. We'll search for Daleks. So yeah, good view of the colours we've actually got there, and looks like the lady's holding a few from Dubbo City. Oh, here comes the yellow bowl there. Just back to the head view now, and there's still three there, I think. And here comes sorry, I've just had Andrew run away answering some questions. That heavy shot now running through. Has kicked Jack, not entirely sure where to though. Round of applause from from her partner there. And Coral coming down to have a look. Let's see if we can see where that moved to. Well, let's come back to the... Yeah, looks like a couple there. That's a... 1, 2, 3 at least, maybe 4. It's a really good shot. Edge Jack through nicely. And Coral Nathan with some work to do by the looks. I'll just get back to the head to see what they're discussing. I'm just reaching across to the control console there as Andrew takes a call. He's one of the busiest men in bowls. He's our Andrew Lynn. He fields a heck of a lot of phone calls a day, almost a one-man match committee at times. Getting good support now from Lee Stinson up there as well. And thanks to those two lads for guiding me over the last, it's been nearly a month. I've been in the office twice through a pretty busy time at Bowls New South Wales, through the championships and the junior series and everything. Shelley just running down the green now to have a look. And then just giving a shout out to his family members up here around here in Wollongong and the area. It's a brilliant part of the world. One with them, Rupna too, mate. Worth coming up for a visit. 17 beaches, as the mayor keeps saying. I say keep saying, he said it once and in a speech right at the start. As the little opening ceremony we held to get these games underway. This, of course, being one of the marquee competitions. That looks pretty good. If it gets around that front bowl and sits, it's just bounced. Looked like it was around. I would have called that around, but it kept going. And I missed the call again because I was watching there where that bowl went. So I'll wait till the scoreboard kicks over. So no movement on the scoreboard, is it? 9-3 still there. No, I'm sure they'll turn around and do it soon unless Pam gets on it. She's having a chat with someone on the far right. I was having a good chat with Pam this morning about what is happening in the with her, and like us, she's been here every single day for every single bowl, and has done an amazing job there. And very good umpires, Pam and ITO. We thank all our volunteers and everyone here for their support of these games. Look, nothing happens without volunteers in our sport, or most sports actually, and bowls, the statistics say, has one of the highest volunteerisms going around in any sport in the country, and it's fantastic. I need some voices like Seth MacFarlane for commentating. I'll have to practice first, Crab. Thanks, mate. And Scotty Matheson, the best in the business down there at Husky. Thanks, mate. Appreciate the feedback very much. Looking forward to getting in some pennants with you, mate. It's going to be great. So a little bit longer for the ladies coming this way. And I
thought your voices might be more like Dan Castellaneta.
more like the Simpsons characters, you think. Yeah.
He does Krusty the Clown.
He does Krusty the Clown. I can do a Krusty voice. I'm just too scared to do it over this microphone right now.
Let's not.
Well, the change of end has had the change of length of the end has had the desired effect by the looks. The Jill, the Pottsville lead, just pushing one long, one short, and two Dubbo City bowls. Those Tweety Bird bowls are in the well. One of them is in the better position.
I did have to take that call. It was the wonderful people from the Bulli Beach Tourist Park,
okay,
which is owned and operated by Wollongong City Council, our sponsors, where we do have some people staying. We just had to fix something up with their account.
Chloe Morrison, do the Krusty voice later. I'm better at doing the song from SpongeBob SquarePants, actually, the pirate voice. So I'll...
The Krusty impersonation?
I'll get it done. You told me to do it. Well,
That's the closest
I'll give that a go at Dubbo 7s.
I'm hoping to put the headsets on a few of our juniors to see how they talk up at Dubbo in between their commitments to play.
Oh, we had so much fun at the at Warilla last time with them. We had...
As long as it's not Timmy Thorning, you can't get a word in edgewise with Timmy.
He's here. I haven't seen him actually. I haven't managed to have a word, but probably Chanel was the best one. Chanel Takouche. She was the probably the standout, and Tommy Rich as well. And that little what was her name? Got all the names, they're all the faces in my head, and I just can't think of names at the moment. But yeah, everyone that jumped on, we had them rotating through, were fantastic, and it was I really enjoyed that. I like getting the players to come on and have a chat.
Carmen's sat the black bowl back.
That's quite a good shot.
Own teammates though.
Yeah, it's her teammates, but it's replaced it and put it in a better position. So,
and the green bowl is actually theirs as well. So they're holding probably two.
Yeah, probably two.
The red and maroon are against them, so
That's
Ferrari's
right.
on their way down.
Sorry, Brett. Yeah, you're right. Do you reckon you could use one of the cameras just to have a look at the scoreboard for me for a sec, mate? We missed the last call.
Zoom up the other end.
Yep.
It is 9-3 on 5 on the scoreboard.
So they haven't actually updated the scoreboard either, mate. So, we'll update the score as soon as we see it.
The issue is the seconds are at the other end.
The
seconds are the ones with the scorecards in their pocket. The seconds keep the scorecard in fours in Australia via the domestic regulations.
If they can count.
Yeah,
here comes those Ferrari red bowls, and that is as good a shot as you'll ever see. Coming down that wider hand, replacing everything that Dubbo City are put down and just resting there behind Jack. Fantastic bowling.
So, Patricia.
Yeah, often I've had to, not often, but occasionally I've had to have a second struggling with filling the card out, so I'd have them hold it, but I'd fill it out for them and give it back when I was playing lead. Yeah, Brett Nathan saying nicely done. Absolutely, that's a great bowl. So Brett Nathan, I'm assuming, related to Coral?
No idea. Brett will have to tell us that.
Yeah, Brett will have to let us know. Yeah, Tricia had a good one. Oh, look, well, that's ended up sitting near the Jack as well. So, look, she's created the target, and the Dubbo City with a bit of a, if they have a run, they've got a good chance of shattering something. There's not many multiples everywhere. There's no risk in it.
Well, Coral coming down the backhand. Don't think she really wants any contact here. It's going to end in a fairly handy spot. Now, Michelle, I think she needs to just be over the draw. A little bit of a touch on that. Get that Jack out to the right of screen. She's got plenty of options. Doesn't want it to go all the way out to the red ones, but good intent, just a little under the line. I think Coral Chick and I think that's probably the best bowl she could play. Take the one. Oh, look, you're 9-3 or 9-4, whatever the score happens to be. You don't need to take big risks. And you could play a near perfect bowl there, get a little touch on the Jack and go a couple down. So it's now 10-3. On 6 on the board. I think they're missing one.
10-4.
So it's 10-4 on 7. There we go. No, 10-4. Just keep pressing the button till the right thing appears, mate.
I'll figure it out one day.
So if you're interested in progress scores, just keep an eye on our little rotating scoreboard, flicking, ticking, whatever you want to call it. Haven't come up with a good name for it. It is linked to a lovely sheet of data that our volunteers and personnel at the venues are updating for us, so they're pretty much up to date. If you do see a blank score in it, it's probably because it's hit the data at the exact moment that someone's deleted the score to update it.
I'm not going to change anything here, but my favourite score at the moment is the bottom one, which is Linton Riddell from Tathra. He's 10 shots to 1 up over Robert Rees from Glen Innes after 35 ends. That's a pretty good typo, so I'll just make sure that gets fixed. I assume it's 5.
I think it'd be 5. I know exactly what's happened there. Whoever's done it's on a mobile device. Mm-hmm. And on the mobile device, you actually need to hit back and delete the previous number.
We're looking another touch at the start. Jill's having some kind of game despite having a busted hand.
So Marie Comerford. Just looks to be a little on the narrow side here. And from what we've seen over the last, how many days is it now? About 9, 10?
Yep.
We would expect that side of the green to be just a little bit wider. Although no wind today, they might be a lot closer to even.
Well, they're crossing the head. So, maybe not that wide, though. Bit of adjustment needed. This is the longest end they've played. And, that hand is, you can see the tracks in the grass where the bowls have been going to the shorter and medium lengths they've been playing. Nothing down all the way yet. We'll see what happens. But it's interesting. One of the things that is interesting is these teams do have players going down that side more regularly. The side away from the alfresco to the left there on the screen now, and that we haven't seen much of that this week. Some of the players have struggled. These guys seem to be going okay down there. Maybe things have just changed a little bit.
Look, usually you'll find that the players who are the pointy ends of competitions more often, I struggle to say better players, but the more experienced players will often choose the slightly wider side because it's just that bit more reliable to get back down to the jack. You tend to also, if your weight's a little long or a little short, you tend to still come back. Whereas on the tight hands where they're not coming back as much, if you're a little bit long, that really exacerbates, they'll hang wider for longer and you miss by more.
Well, here it comes through. This will hit Jack.
Jack
didn't belly it.
A little bit of a bounce around.
She's gone into the...
It's a toucher in the
pit. She's gone in the ditch, but the Jack's over there on the left-hand side still hanging up. A fair way from the line still, but probably, set up and down, I reckon that's at least one.
Our camera angle's a little deceptive at times too.
Sandra Bruce, g'day. Always here giving us a friendly wave in the mornings.
You can see our camera's actually picking up the handrail of the steps.
Yeah.
Just next to where we're playing.
So that's the steps up to the alfresco and into one of the entrances to the club. Oh, is that that little yellow tub of grip there? Those are rare as hen's teeth at the moment. You can't buy them online, and just next to the number there. Someone might come along and steal that. So the great Lee Stinson just standing behind us now, coming to supervise, I assume. No, he was looking for a phone charger. He's actually going to sit down and chat.
Maybe you heard I had some fruit toast down here. He's come down for some brekkie.
Thanks, guys. Just been working away upstairs.
Whoa.
A few things.
That's it. Welcome. I turned him up a bit high. Sorry.
A few things organised for some of our next events after this concludes here at Victory on Tuesday. Nice and busy calendar, as we all know down here.
Absolutely, we know, yep.
For those that aren't aware, we're off to Warilla next Friday. We'll be covering the New South Wales versus Victoria Test Series. So the open men and women sides playing Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And senior men and women on the following Monday and Tuesday. Yeah,
we were just commenting that a few minutes ago that we'd have a prime time test against Victoria in the evening. It's the men on the evening, isn't it? The women at 2 o'clock and the men at 6 o'clock?
6:30.
6:30.
Yeah, depending how early that first match finishes.
And give the players a chance to have a refreshment. And then we have a little break before we go off to Dubbo for the 7-a-side.
Yeah, for the juniors. Looking forward to that. Obviously, we covered some of the junior games a few weeks ago now. So, yeah, looking forward to that representative fixture there as we see.
Oh, she's going to bury this jag.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
It didn't
she
push
hasn't
the hole.
buried it.
So there's a... That's a... Wow, that's an absolute... That's a rescue. It's
a bomb.
Absolute bomb of a bowl. I can't believe it.
Well, the red ones are against her, so she was down at least one.
Well, yeah, there's the other red one's in the ditch just below the nubber there. And that bright red bowl, and then that's the saving shot by Shelley Harkin from Dubbo City. And a bit of a run to try to take it out on that wider hand. I'm not sure that's going to go anywhere near it.
I think she's pretty much under.
Oh, you're
well.
kidding. Oh, well, heart and mouth stuff there. As it
And it stayed up.
Just bounced around a bit. Yeah, it did stay up on the... You can just see it there near the logo, but yeah, it's... Jack's right on the edge on the lip of the ditch. Maybe something to rest on for Shelley if she slightly overcooks this bowl. G'day, John Ingram. Glad you're here as well, mate. Love to see you on all these people on the broadcast.
It's a good effort.
Yeah, good try.
Just going to go through.
So that'll be one to Dubbo.
So, my understanding is that Dubbo need to win this by at least 5 to give themselves a chance. So that may be the start of a bit of a comeback. I've missed the first few ends of this game upstairs, but word filtered through to us at the desk that it was a wrong bias on this rink at one point in time.
Shh, we don't talk about that. There was, by the way. Yeah. Shelley dropped one through.
Okay.
And ran across in the wrong direction.
Yes.
It's the third one we've seen.
The word filtered quite quickly back to where we were sitting up at the desk looking at some of these other scores. That, oh, wow, there's a wrong bias on
that went the wrong way.
TV game.
5 margin will put the score difference even. But
depending on what Narrabri potentially do on the rink.
Narrabri would open the door for Narrabri. They would need to win by more than that margin. They're 3 behind at the moment, so they'd need to win by 9 to get over the top. But a 5-shot win, by my calculations at the moment, it's 30 against for Pottsville, 32 against for Dubbo City. So a 5-shot win would actually put Dubbo City ahead on percentages, because their against would be 5 less.
3 better.
Yeah. Yes. And I didn't have to take my shoes off to work that out.
Another unbelievably good day here in the Wollongong region. Some of our volunteers here from the club that have been walking around doing score updates for all the other rinks, you can see those at the bottom of the screen, are commenting how warm it is out there at the moment. And they're happy to race around, do the scores and get back inside. So you can see there in the game next door, it's Narrabri leading 15 shots to 4. So Narrabri also cheering for Dubbo City in this match, so they can try and overtake both Dubbo and Pottsville. Yeah, expected temperature here today, I think in the early 20s.
23.
Not a breath of wind out there at the moment.
It's about 4 degrees more than average for this time of the year. And the humidity is actually fairly high as well.
There's a bit of showers inland today, so there was word in and around the airport that they may get some later in the afternoon, but I don't think we'll quite get it to the coast, but the humidity is up a little. 4 degrees above average here in Wollongong, and about 20 degrees above what I assume is happening in my hometown in Orange today.
It's a warm day in Orange then as well. Well, at the airport for this area, the Shell Harbour Airport, we shouldn't mention because that's in the next council area, but that's where my phone's linked to the weather app. You get a Bellambi point as well, but feels like 19 is actual 20.3, expecting 24 in Albion Park. So about 23 to 24 at Bellambi Point, and somewhere in between that is us. We'll be about the same.
See Dubbo there holding shot at the moment.
It's a 90% chance of no rain. At the moment, the wind is out of the northeast at 9 kilometres an hour.
That's a weird way to put that. 90% chance of no wind, but no rain. But with sailors and bowlers talk about the weather about the same amount as each other, I've discovered. It's such an important part of the game, and that's why we play outside. It's harder than inside.
Those who saw any of the coverage this afternoon would know how windy it got here, especially the second half of that round 2 match yesterday afternoon.
That's
another great bowl. That'd be 2 to the Dubbo ladies. Nice description there from Coral, just showing just exactly what she'd like to see, drawing up on the left-hand side of the screen to rest on the green bowl.
Yeah, Carmen's little bowls there, she calls them as squiddies. And so she'll often yell down the green, "Go squiddy," as it comes through. And these bright red Minnie Mouse icon on them, but Andrew's been calling them Ferrari red bowls of Trisha. Just ran through a little there.
Looking for a sponsorship, was he?
Ferrari. Oh, God. Yes, let's both get that.
New company car. Not sure we'll be able to haul enough stuff around.
I don't think all three of us would fit in.
The weather forecast does show 0 rain until next Friday when the Victorians arrive. But it then says that the 25% chance is for a millimetre. So that's unlikely to be all that wet.
It almost gives them the home ground advantage, doesn't it?
Oh.
Change your hand.
Yep. Still playing with their correct weight. Little slide.
Off.
All the times I've been to Melbourne, the weather can be described in one of 2 words, and both start with the preview of very hot or very cold.
Yeah, and often very quickly between them. My parents and family, everyone in my immediate family used to live in Victoria, and I remember staying down there at my parents' house near Hawthorn once, and the first day we arrived it was 32 degrees, and we were all swimming in my sister's pool and having a good time. The next day it was 14.
Wow.
That's a big change. But this little head of bowls here, interesting to crash into. I don't think the Dubbo City want to. That's
should be 2 there to Michelle and Dubbo City as it lies. The green and the white squid bowl, just to the
Squiddies,
right,
yep.
right of the jack.
And these little pink bowls are very popular too. I quite like them.
Looking to beat that maroon coloured bowl, just bottom left of the jack.
He's going to run around.
Quick.
Look, running around the back's not a bad option either. Probably wanted to finish to the left of that, where the Pottsville bowls are, because I don't think Coral Nathan's going to be short.
Well, she's got a lovely little rumble in that the 2 against her are close enough to jack high, and the bowl off to the left is her own. So a nice attacking line.
Yeah, it's a fair line.
She gets the split. It's her own red bowl to turn in as well.
Second shot, I think.
Yep. Their second shot.
And I now think that Ferrari is locked in.
Yeah, I can't see that moving, and I think and she's got another one there in the head too, so a running shot might be on next.
So, Michelle, I think a nice draw, tiny little touch would be brilliant for Shelley.
Quick, unfortunately.
Yeah, I still think she's going for cover.
But that's going to be a good home. That's splitting them up. Coral, though, nice, just a yard away or so. Get the green bowl right in the belly. Get the Ferrari split. Or just tuck that jack back to the left.
Oh, definitely inside a last line.
Yeah, it's a similar kind of weight, different line. Pretty close here. Oh, is it going to crash or is it going to slide through?
Nope.
It did crash, and at least 1, 2. Having a close look, but looks like 1. Yep, 1 to Dubbo City.
And gentlemen, obviously we've got our ladies sectional round 3 game here at the moment. What do we have in store for the viewers in the afternoon?
Men's semi-final.
Yeah, men's semi, winner of Section 3 and Section 4 at the moment. Percentages say, but I'm not going to make the call. I was looking at that a second ago.
Does
Probably
heavily
twisting.
favour the St John's Park side
it.
at the moment. They lead by about 40 shots in their section and are a win in front of their closest competitors. So
Yeah,
And they're leading their game there this morning. I did
They-
see before I came down here.
There would have to be a massive result to tip them off the top.
so we say barring tragedy, but
No, Grenfell's leading Section 4 with 2 narrow wins yesterday. They're in a tight battle with Kingscliff there this morning. I think Grenfell led Kingscliff by just a single shot when I came down here a couple of ends ago.
If I look at the
Kingscliff needing just a narrow margin of victory themselves, so it won't be much in that.
it's 5-4 on after 7 according to the scoreboard here. We have down here. Yeah, but you were speaking earlier. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, for those in the local area this afternoon, come on down to Fig Tree. Obviously, you get to see 4 fantastic semi-finals across the men's and women's state fours. And also from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m, we have the TAB closest to the Jack competition running again this afternoon. So anytime within that 2-hour window, you can come down and play 2 bowls. Your closest bowl will be measured. And if you're the closest bowl to the Jack within that 2-hour window, you have a TAB prize pack to be won, as well as a $200 voucher to be used here at Fig Tree Sports. So it's a free entry competition, well worth winning. And on top of all those prizes for being a daily winner, you will go into the draw with all 4 other daily winners here over the course of the state championships to win a TAB branded set of bowls.
And it costs you nothing.
Costs you nothing. Absolutely. Free to go in. Just simply walk up, register, play your 2 bowls. Your closest bowl will get measured. And if you're the winner, you win the prize pack and go into the major draw.
So in that section 4, Grenfell has a +9 with 2 wins. They're playing Kingscliff, who has a 1 win +3. So 6 shots the difference. A 3-shot win to Kingscliff will put the margins equal. And I think that
Not quite enough.
it wouldn't be enough. It would put Grenfell through on percentages or shots against, same difference. But would open the door for Merimbula if they can have a win over St Ives. But Merimbula would need to win by 6 or more shots to catch up.
Even a little more, probably about 8 or 9 there I think they'd need.
They're 5 behind Kingscliff. So if Kingscliff win, they need to win by 6 more than Kingscliff.
6 more than Kingscliff.
Yes, 6 plus. Probably didn't make that quite clear. And in the other section, Twisty would have to get beaten by something like 20 shots by Penrith. Are they playing Penrith? No.
Good effort there.
They're playing North
they're playing
Tamworth.
North Tamworth side this morning. Yes.
So
You can see on screen then the Merimbula guys in for a battle if they're going to get that margin. Currently trailing St Ives 11 shots to 3. And Grenfell just in front.
So the combined margin that Ben Twist would have to lose by and Trent Whittingham win by would be 41. And it would be 44 for Hemi Palmer of Halakalani.
So on that, you talked about the Merimbula score earlier. They're currently down 11-3 after 7 ends, so that's not a good start for any semi-final ambition they may have. But
And look, I
it's a long
can't see a combined margin of 44 for Hemi Palmer beating Penrith and Twisty getting done by North Tamworth.
Perfect weighted bowl coming in
Yeah,
there.
Carmen just running through a bit.
You see some of the lines on the green there as the bowl's coming down. I'd imagine as this match progresses, it's starting to get a little wider, drawing a little further than it has been when the ladies commenced the game this morning. Conditions starting to dry out. Green just running that a little bit quicker than it would have been at the start.
It was interesting in the Engadine versus Cabramatta game yesterday. They played 2 very distinct lengths, and there were 2 very distinct sets of lines to very specific points. It's a bit of art. It'd be interesting to put some paint on the back of bowls and create a little art piece there. But
I'll let you talk to the greenkeepers about
they'll be stoked.
allowing that.
I'll speak to the apprentices. But Nathan Bazant, the Crab, saying, does he get a prize for drawing on the right rink? Yeah, mate.
As long as you're closer than everyone else, Nathan, you will be the daily winner.
Participation award, a little gold star or a stamp on the hand.
The lucky man's playing down at Huskisson today, and the single jet pennants just started down in the Zone 7.
I don't think the difference in pace this afternoon will be as significant as it was a couple of days ago. Very little dew this morning, very warm. It was about 13 degrees this morning, and there was I didn't have to wipe the windows of the car to leave home, so very little dew. There was no dampness at all around, actually.
Quite pleasant. I was talking to a couple of the members just upstairs about half an hour or so ago that have a regular meeting spot on Saturday mornings for breakfast down on the beach in Wollongong, and they said it was absolutely packed. All the different cafes around, plus people on walks down beachside this morning. And, ideal condition, early teen temperatures, no breeze.
Oh, I've had my jacket on for about 3.5 minutes this morning, and that was just as the sun peaked over the came up, and it usually find a little dip in temperature just as the sun peaks above the horizon here. You just get a little tiny breeze as that happens.
So we got Michelle down here, her backhand. Reasonable line.
It's all about weight, I think, there, mate. Shelley Harkin just dropping in a bit short. Good line. I was saying before, Lee, before you jump down, that some of the most fun conversation I've had pre-game. I go and meet all the teams we're live streaming and just give them a brief, and these ladies were great fun, having a great laugh, and were really willing to tell me all about their clubs and their bowls and everything about it, and the nicknames they have.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you saw Coral Nathan doing the...
Got a bit of a toucher there. Move the jack around the corner. You can see it there now, right of screen. One on the open. There's Michelle's bowl here, getting urged to stop. Will she get the jack herself?
Be good enough shot.
It's still going, but it is a shot. It's still going. Carmen there trying to stop it.
These are the ones.
Use the force, Carmen.
I know, in skipping events in the past, these sort of open draws, when you've got a metre and a half of room, you really just want to make them, and often they're the most nerve-wracking bowls when you really think you should draw this.
Yeah, I've commented on it before, that shot, when you've got a mile of room, can be one of the hardest shots to play because it's in your brain, you know. Just aim at the jack.
Right on line. Not sure that's going to be enough.
No, I think it's one to Dubbo.
Well, anyone who's watched the streams and heard me commentating, I firmly state it's the... It's not the ones that you draw. You've got 2 inches to draw, and you draw it that win you the game. It's the ones where you got 3 or 4 feet. Or more, to be more accurate, it's the ones you miss when you got 3 or 4 feet that cost you a game.
So that was 2 in the end, Dubbo. So you come back at the start somewhere. 10-5, back to 10-8.
Yep, 10-8 after 10 is what's on the board.
You mentioned one half of the men's draw there earlier. In the other 2 sections, Tarrant Point with 2 extremely narrow wins yesterday lead that section. They were about 5 or 6 in front a few minutes ago, so they're putting themselves in the box seat. They're playing Denniston as we speak. Denniston just needs a win to overtake Tarrant Point. So one of those 2 sides look like progressing.
Yeah, and if Denniston do get a narrow victory and Corrimal has a good win over Curry, Corrimal can just jump to the top of the table.
Yeah, they need to win by about 9 more shots than Denniston. Another section, Raymond Terrace, Lee Schreiner's side with 2 wins yesterday. They're a few ends behind everyone else this morning. A couple of dead ends early on in that match. So,
I love dead ends early.
Lee Schreiner playing against the side from Lavington, I believe, this morning.
That Trish's little Tweety Bird's jumping in there. Something I'll tell you about Jill here, mate. She's broken her hand, her right hand.
Right.
Still playing. She's had a fall. See, she's resting on it there. She had a fall. Wouldn't shake my hand because she's probably busted a bone just behind her right ring finger, and still playing on through pain.
That's some effort, isn't it?
Yeah.
Playing with a broken bone.
not playing badly either. Delivering Jack actually looks like the hardest thing she plays. She tends to, I've seen her grab her hand a couple of times after throwing the jack after the bowlers, no problem. So pretty bizarre.
I've seen in the past, Ben, when conditions can vary a little bit. Obviously, a lot of people, especially in singles play, like to roll the jack and keep that momentum for their first bowl. But sometimes that distinct difference in how the jack runs on the green compared to the bowl. I've seen plenty of right-handers throw the jack left-handed.
Oh, really? Wow. I'll have
Just
to give that a
because
go.
the feel is just not right between rolling the jack and that first bowl on some surfaces. So,
Oh, goodness, yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. I might have to give that a
Sheriff's
go.
a big one for that at different times. Yeah, just when conditions can really be not in that rhythm with jack and first bowl.
Oh, I've just learnt something. There you go. I'll give that a go when I get back to the club and have a practice. And often practice with jacks before I start a competition. I'll grab a box of them out there and just roll a ton of jacks. I set up my little drills, same as I would for a...
I think that would make me even worse at rolling the jack.
Oh, it's something that has to be practiced, no doubt about that. So you can see the Dubbo ladies getting a bit of momentum, holding 3 early on in end number 11.
Yeah, it's a big shift. All the multiples were on the left-hand side of the scoreboard here, and it's just moving across the other side now, the momentum.
Not sure that one's going to hold on either. See things very interesting over the next few ends. We pan to the other scoreboard alongside this match earlier. Narrabri were leading 15 shots to 4.
Yeah, up a fair way.
It could become a margin battle here amongst 3 different sides. As that front one just gets turned over just to block the jack a little further.
Yeah, that's...
See Coral indicating there, just the gap between the bowl and the jack. His palms start to get a little sweaty. We're warming up that side.
And palms only sweat when you're nervous. Did you know that? It's a function of human anatomy.
Or when it's 55 degrees.
No, they still tend not to sweat. It's an
Bowl onto the jack. Oh, a little unfortunate. It's a good effort.
evolutionary function. It's a weird one.
Well, Lee, pleasing to see plenty of local media interest in the event being held here with Win News, whose main studios in the area are just up the road at Mount St Thomas. And we saw the ABC Illawarra do a little interest piece on the action over at Wiseman Park, Wollongong City,
You're right.
on their Facebook page yesterday.
Yeah,
Really?
good promoters, yeah. Win News have been down here multiple days over our time of the last week and a half to do a few different stories with players and officials. And as you mentioned, the ABC Illawarra did a media interview with our very own Billy Johnson from the office
Yeah, that's it.
late last week.
Spoke
And
to the
then,
doctor.
yeah, Facebook page mentions that you say yesterday there's also been
Some cool.
speaking with Billy, a couple of the FM radio stations as well. He's had some interviews with those crews as well. So, yeah, really good to see that interest is high in the local media for
And some
the
really,
event.
really interesting photos on the ABC Illawarra Facebook post. Just a slightly different perspective on it. Not a non-bowler took the photos. I found it really cool.
It's good. I did notice our very own state match committee member, Robin Lewis, featuring there, all smiles at some of the event. Really good to see players and spectators getting promoted. As Michelle comes to the mat here, holding at least 3, potentially 4. On a really good line here herself. Just needs to get past the red one to count. Not sure it quite counts, but just visually, he's slightly in Carroll's line.
Yeah, make that view for Coral just that little bit harder with the bowl on the centre line. And it really, it hasn't made her shot any harder because that bowl's not in the way. But it's just your eye sees the bowl in the way, and it can affect how you play your weight.
Now, we did see a third, just give the indication of how far that bowl was away. So Picture in the brain. Okay, that's inside the line with draw weight. So depending on what speed this is carrying.
Well, she doesn't want to hit that last bowl. Well, it's pumped it up. I think that one will count now.
Most definitely. That's 4, maybe 5.
I said an interesting drill to get around that, Lee. You get a cardboard box and put it on the green and have to draw around the cardboard box.
Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
So I'm just
Much wider line.
Or a plastic tub.
So I'm just about to dump a link into ABC Illawarra Facebook page where our story is the first one you see as you scroll in. Once again, don't click on any links that aren't from me, from us here at Bowls New South Wales. Don't give anyone any credit card details. We don't charge for this. And anyone who is trying to get your credit card details is trying to scam you.
That's a very good bad bowl from Shelley.
Bit unlucky, but last bowl here, Coral once again under the line. Depends all on weight now, whether she can make contact with her own or wiggle up off the front.
Needs a jack. Well, what did we say? Good bad bowl. Without that one there, that bowl goes straight through and doesn't count.
So I think 1 to Dubbo at the conclusion of this, but
It's a good save.
Coral, yeah, I think maybe 6 down prior to playing that bowl. Yeah, it is 1 to Dubbo. So
Yeah.
Wow.
huge-
Cut 5 out.
Big
huge
conversion,
turnaround.
yeah. So 10-9.
That's the battery flattener for Dubbo.
The battery flattener. I haven't heard that expression before. I like that.
Well, Lee, how do you cope when someone does that to you? You're holding a good 6. They've played what you could quite easily say is not a good bowl. They've got the little flick and stop. Probably, if it's against you, you're going, gee, that's a bit
There's
lucky.
No doubt you're frustrated. There is little doubt about that. Because you're watching that bowl come down and thinking that's not on the right line. However, they do get a bit of a fortunate result and make their way in. All you can look back on is just that yourself and your teammates have played 6 really good draw shots all around it and put the opposition under pressure. So
Is the trick
so
to
we
say,
do that
well,
again.
we got a 1. We got 1. That's good. We're back to just 1 behind. And
I guess different scenarios shape how you feel. What end it is in the match.
how many
In this
times
case,
they've done it?
Yeah, in this case, obviously, as we mentioned, Dubbo needing to win by a certain score to overtake Pottsville. But in overtaking Pottsville, they're also looking on at the Narrabri game next
Yeah,
door, who are building up a
bit
bit of
that-
a margin.
It's about asked that if you're able to grab the camera and see both scoreboards at once there, you might be able to, with the side on.
We'll see.
So, yeah, when you're looking on at that score, and as you mentioned, Narrabri were holding a really good lead. Was it 15-4? Looks like now 16 shots to 5. So they've
Yeah.
moved 11 shots in front.
In a word, no.
16-5, I think I just saw it.
Yeah, 16.5 is what it looked like to me as well. The ticker hasn't been updated yet. What did we say? Revolving scores, the merry-go-round. There we are. We can use that.
Fantastic correction. First bowl drawn into the ditch. And just a good measure. The second one a
Just off
touch
to
up.
There's bodies in front of it. That's the issue.
That's right. Yep. They promised me they wouldn't get in the way.
See all the action. Well, they're not. Yeah, they're not thinking you're in the way. Of
Just
that
having
one.
a
They're
laugh,
doing the
mate.
right- They're doing the right thing.
One of the things I mentioned at the start, and when I went out there to speak to both teams, I said, "Don't forget you're on the camera rank, and that the cameras are there." And they both went, "Oh goodness, we're not going to stand there." And they deliberately stand right outside the rinks now.
Perfect.
very, very
For everyone
nervy.
watching on, and both these teams were well aware when they came to pick up their cards from me this morning. All teams doing that once they arrive at the venue. I asked them what rink, if they knew what rink they were on, and both of them didn't give me a number. They said TV rink.
And
They're fully aware, so no doubt they've got plenty of family and club mates watching on in different parts of the state and the country. So hello to everyone watching at either Pottsville or Dubbo City this morning. Hope you're enjoying a nice close game so far.
for old Sue Moore's team came to you as well, looking for a new card because she'd spilled coffee on hers. Actually, it was her teammate Leanne Darcy. I'll land her in it there. That's 2 pretty good bowls there, actually. In the end, it's not holding shot, but that's a good spot for them.
You mean they destroyed my pretty card?
They did, and your hard work on your stickers and everything, mate.
Yeah, there was no chance of that one getting used for this morning.
Bit soggy.
Someone had to come up, tail between their legs, and ask for a new card.
Poor Sue.
Fortunately, cards are relatively inexpensive. We do have a few spare ones lying around. I imagine you grab one out of the several hundred in the tub up there.
Yeah, found a few spares up there to be able to use. Sneaking past, so it looks like a couple there at the moment to Pottsville. Coral just pointing out where that danger is just past Jack. A couple of Dubbo bowls, about a metre or so behind. What's the request? Turn our own bowls up. We'll get to those bowls just bottom right of Jack. Played this very well. Just finds all the gaps. I went through some of the men's semis earlier. There's a potential for an absolute blockbuster in the ladies' event between Cabramatta side skipped by Karen Murphy against Raymond Terrace team led by Natasha Van Eldyk. So that'll be on a different green to this afternoon. It won't be streamed. But for those in the area that want to see a high quality ladies match, in all likelihood, with results as they sit currently, it will be those two sides meeting in one of the semi-finals.
And they will be on the green adjacent to the one we're playing on.
There's huge crowds here yesterday afternoon watching on, which is great to see. I see fours play. Plenty of these sides have brought
be over there.
Members with them over on that green, yeah, where the men are at the moment.
I think
the ladies will go onto that green in the afternoon, and the men will come across to where we are now.
I think we're changing directions from AM to PM though.
We certainly are. We'll be going north-south this afternoon. And we'll be going north-south on this screen. Just
Yes, we
change
will.
directions. Be interesting. I have a look. I haven't measured it out, but I wonder, would it be? You might be able to get a 29 metre length.
Yeah,
Going the other way on this.
it's pretty close.
On this screen.
We asked Matty. You didn't know actually.
However, there is a minimum distance that the green must cover to be legal. I'll put you on the spot, Lee. Can you name the minimum size in the direction of play for a bowling green?
I can't name it, but I'm prepared to have a guess.
Yep, have a guess.
I have a feeling it's 33 metres, being a 29 metre jack.
Oh, he's close. It's 32.
Oh, that's pretty accurate. It's better than I would have guessed.
The minimum size of green 32 up to 40 metres. In general, in Australia, you'll find they're around about the 37 to 38. The old 120 feet, the old guys used to say.
Okay, so just watching.
This is a much tighter head.
Bowl coming down here, couple down. Aaron bowl coming in, trying to sit on those. Not quite to be. Really good weight to play. So it'll be 2 at the moment to Pottsville. Coral only a metre over with the first in that good covering spot. Same line, a little bit less weight to make a third.
Looks a bit cloudy out there at the moment. I just saw everything dim down a bit. No shadows on the, or not as heavy a shadows. She's on the wider hand.
Looks to have played this very well indeed. That will count.
That's a great shot. Coral Nathan, well done. 3. And a way to kick back for Pottsville there.
There's a big, sort of 10 minutes or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, from the
6 down, cutting it back to 1 down, and then responding with a 3 the next end.
feet in. Yeah.
So 120 feet is 36.5 metres, roughly. And that's the probably about the average size bowling greens in New South Wales, at least.
I know the biggest one I've played on's at Pacific Palms near Foster. It's the biggest green I've ever seen. And I don't know how long it was, but we did a corner to corner. That's a long way.
You needed to play with Pythagoras. He would have been able to tell you how long the corner to corner was.
Exactly right.
But I know Darebin that was used for Melbourne 06 Commonwealth Games. I think they were the maximum length.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the indoor green at Wirral is 40 metres.
Okay, there you go. I didn't.
That's why I must struggle reaching the tee sometimes.
There are a few 40-metre greens around. They're pretty close to it at Dubbo, Club Dubbo, because we can get 8 rinks per green. So generally, if you can fit 8 legal rinks on, it's going to be, if not 40 metres, not far off it.
First one, you see Coral just replacing that bowl. Just a little bit of chalk.
She's had a fair bit of chalk, by the way.
The old Port Kembla Club, just up the road from here, no longer with us unfortunately, but they had a 40-metre green, and it was right on the edge of the cliff. You'd get the wind come up over the cliff, and if you played the ditch, or tee to tee, into the wind coming over the cliff, it was a long way. And the locals would throw tee to tee.
Of course you would.
And watch the opposition fall 2 metres, 3 metres short.
Bit of history. This lady on the mat here from Dubbo used to own a little corner store in my original hometown of Blaney when I was a child, many, many years ago.
Really?
Yes, there's a little
Did you used to buy bags of mixed lollies off her?
There'd be a chance. Yes. Quite a few walk home from school. There's a few other kids similar age to me live close by, so we walk back past the corner shop.
That's really cool. She's lovely.
See Pottsville, they're also involved in the senior men's fours. Chris Layfelt, who won our senior singles here a few days ago in action. So it could be a couple of big results coming for Pottsville.
Yeah, well, Tim Dowse here saying his old club at Devonport had 12 rinks on a 32-metre green. I'm just looking at Pacific Palms and measuring the distance between the ends, and yeah, it's 40 metres flat from end to end, and a 50-metre, well over 50 metres for the hypotenuse, as you were talking about Pythagoras earlier.
Oh. I've just got a text message through from Tomo who says the price of silver is really good at the moment. Time to sell, Lee.
I did notice your comment there a little while ago, Dave. Good to see you've doubled that up with a text message as well. Thank you very much for noticing. Plenty of people tell me it's very easy to win these events, but it must be tricky to be runner-up.
Well, Lee,
fortunate enough that we did have one Wirral victory this week, so that was pleasing to see.
You've got 5 state championship medals more than I do.
One way to look at it.
And you're likely to add to that tally. I'm not. Unless I start practicing really hard and get good for the time of the seniors in quite a few years' time.
Counting down the days to playing over 60s, but then realising that those same people you could probably be playing against anyway. As we see a great shot come in from Dubbo.
Well, Chris Layfelt shooting for his second title of the championships. Robbie Warren won't add to his 2. He's not going to get through.
You lose both games yesterday.
Yeah, they're out of the calculations. So we'll have to find out. Our calculations for Senior Bowler of the Year will be very interesting. There's a couple of people who have put their hand up. That won't be...
It'll all be announced at our awards night in November.
Oh yeah, let's give a little plug to that. I've just before that, I've just had a look at the Davenport rink that Tim Dowse mentioned. It's 58 metres long. So 8 rinks, 58 metres in 12. Sorry, in one direction and far shorter in the other. That's
hope
quite
they
a
don't
remarkable
play.
green.
I hope they don't swap directions on that green.
That'd be great fun. I really enjoy that.
T to T. Oh, God, throw it that far.
It's the old line. I don't go that far for a holiday. Yeah, 35 the other direction. So yeah, that's 30. Yeah, 35.
The Dubbo bowl just got edged across there. Looks like 2 currently.
So the maroon bowl is Marie's. That's actually the Pottsville. So the maroon one is Pottsville.
That's sort of white and the
White
black,
and green.
And the white and black 2 for Dubbo. What do we know about Coral's tactics here? Is she an aggressive player? Is she likely to play on her forehand there, the right side of the screen, through the gap to try and go the bowls?
It's not what we've seen so far, but I have seen her play pretty aggressively. She does have all the shots. Using a very capable bowler.
Haven't seen flat stick drives, but she has played a few where she's used weight. We saw her get the little rumble through the head before. That one's pretty narrow. No slides there. Got the blue one in.
Yep.
That's her own. Played the weight that I thought she might. Yeah, maybe the other hand to what I was expecting.
Blue bowl is Jill Morris, the lead for Condong.
Even Pottsville.
Yep, same area,
Just
wrong
around
club.
the corner.
Yes. And I grew up there. I should know the difference between them. They're in my district.
So Michelle not adding to the target there. Won't be too disappointed.
Well,
Coral just indicating there. I think she's trying to push the jack.
would you be tempted, Lee, to play the other side of the green?
Yes. In a word. Absolutely.
Yeah, she has switched over.
Same weight as the last,
So
up between the black and the red at the front.
It's her forehand, be our backhand.
Both bowls. Edge of the black one onto the white.
He might be going a bit quicker than that, but
well, that's the weight.
needs
Just
to get under that.
Yeah, not quite. Like the shot, though.
So the question was from Hayden Murphy, any update on Coromel? Yes, I do. It's 9-8 after 11 ends. So Coromel down by 1 shot.
Okay, and they are probably battling a little bit with Tarrant Point alongside them already with 2 wins in that section, leading Denniston at 15 shots to 6. So Tarrant Point simply need a win.
Yeah, we've seen
Make it through, so 15-6, 9 in front with 10 ends to go.
We've seen in the opening 2 games, Tarrant Point were actually behind in both of their opening games and fought back. And I tend to think of Axe as a very good finisher. One of those blokes who just gets in the scrap and tends to come home pretty strongly.
See 2
to Dubbo.
Dubbo City, 11 shots now to 13. Well, the other member of that Tarrant Point side yesterday who became a really good finisher was Kyle Hansen.
When he actually arrived.
More due to the fact that he wasn't here for the first half of the morning game. Slight misread in the starting times by Kyle.
So
his opponents were his teammates were ringing him here at about 20 past 8
Where are you?
morning saying, how far away are you? And Kyle, living in southern Sydney, said that he was in bed still and thought they were a 1 p.m. start. So I did hear, though, obviously Kyle came into that round 1 fixture midway through the game. And the description I got last night was his first 4 bowls. His first bowl was about 1.5 metres away. His second bowl, 20 centimetres away. And third and fourth bowls one was touching, one was about 5 centimetres away.
Came in with a point of proof.
I think so.
Stop laughing at me, please. I don't know if his teammates would have been laughing. The look on their faces when during the phone call, you're what? What do you mean you're in bed?
Luckily for them, one of their teammates who didn't play in the fours at all lives just around the corner from here. They give him a quick phone call, said, what are you doing? So I'm just on my way out to Roger. No, you're not. You're coming here.
Oh, that's dropped in the hole.
So he managed to get here before they finished their trial ends, I think, wasn't it?
I think he might have, just in time, or he may have even got the second trial end in himself.
So this year, they've changed the length again. Have Pottsville gone end to end, and it's just thrown them a bit.
Dubbo, Jack, sorry, mate.
My apologies. Dubbo has changed the end once again, really long again. Don't know how I'm getting the colours mixed up. Those Pottsville ones really stand out.
Maybe you've got Kyle Hanson's ordering colours.
Maybe I'll just go back and lay in the band and go to sleep. But it's thrown them a little bit look more loose again, a bit wider.
See the local side there, just looking at open reserve fours. Victory, Tony Tratt's side, 29 shots to 5. Finished yesterday with a win and a loss. And there's plenty of the locals watching those scores this morning in the open reserves.
Yeah, wow.
Give themselves a chance to progress through.
Both those men have skippers there have names that wouldn't go far in a science fiction novel. Tony Tratt and Steve Zack. They're amazing.
Early on here, but Dubbo holding 3. Early stages, and number 14.
Looks like Raymond Turris, Tash Van Eldick, 23-6 after 11 ends. Tash Van Eldick and Jen Delve have really come here with this one after narrowly missing out in the pairs. Have really come to this one with a real, not necessarily agenda, but determination. They want to not just win, but win big. And
Absolutely, and they're just a quality side.
Oh, they're amazing.
Anyway, so, for those unaware in the pairs, Genevieve Dells, Natasha Van Eldick finish round robin play with 2 wins and a draw. Their draw came against our eventual champions, Ellen Faulkner and Karen Murphy.
So Tash has lost 1 match in 3 events so far. Got a silver medal in the singles, which is the 1 match she's lost.
By a shot.
Missed out on the pairs despite being unbeaten, and won the triples.
yeah, they had two wins in the sectional play there. You were saying they had 2 wins and a draw. Score differential of 44 shots all up. Got beaten.
Look at this one coming off the ball of the jack. Brilliant. Yeah, 2 wins, a draw, plus 44. So
Got
obviously
beaten.
unfortunate to miss out,
That's
but
it,
the
beaten by-
Cabramatta ladies finished with plus 48.
It's your choice to draw plus 48, 4 shots, and those. Geez, you'd have hated to be the other 2 teams in that section, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of comments here at the venue and from various different sources about the format and how unlucky they were not to make it through. In some respects, yes, they were unlucky not to progress any further from the section. Everyone fully aware of the conditions in the event, that it is sectional play and the winner of your section goes through. So that's why margin is critical in each and every game. And if you are leading, even if it is by a big margin, you still have to work hard for every single shot. It may come back into play as it did with those ladies in the pairs.
And mate, I agree, but I don't think we're getting a lot of comments. We're getting a few. I know, and we're seeing them online as well about that kind of thing. But I think the sectional play created something yesterday that we hadn't seen. Was 2 teams playing against each other. Well, they weren't actually playing against each other. They were playing next to each other. It was bizarre and a really unique situation and an exciting one at the same time. And sectional play gives everyone a chance. Everyone that comes here gets to play at least 3 games. Which is what you want if you're paying for accommodation and your zones and your clubs are paying for it. And that's what you want to do. And on top of that, as the St George's Basin ladies proved yesterday, you want to challenge yourself against the best. If you're here and you're in those sections, you can get to play 3 games against Tash Van Eldick and Jen Delves, Karen Murphy and Ellen Faulkner, then you're walking away pretty happy in the end.
Absolutely. No credit to both those sides and any of our other sort of high-profile players. So this morning there was 4 ladies from Condobolin playing that Cabramatta side, and there was photos galore being taken upstairs in front of the banners.
In front of the screen, yeah.
How good is this? Yes.
Oh, I loved it.
Look, I think you need to look at sectional play in 2 ways. You've got 3 games.
Sorry, mate, just that Ferrari red bowl just running through with a little touch and bellying Jack.
At least a couple there.
So you look at your individual games, but you have to look at them as a whole as well. Sectional play is comprised of 3 games. You win your section or you don't win your section. That's the whole equation. And it's not going to be always perfect 3 wins or whatever, but you win your section or you don't, and that's what you're setting out to do. And then you enter the next distinct phase where it's game by game, you have to keep winning.
Oh, absolutely, Andrew. Yeah, you do need to just be aware of the format. Same as any competition you go in, there's different structures to the event, whether it is sectional play, whether it's respotting the jack for dead ends, the amount of ends to play, the scoring system being used, whether it's going on margins or ends. Just be fully aware of the rules.
That's it.
Before you start the competition, and then
You only have to look at every Australian's reaction to Piers Morgan's comments about the Ashes. Cry me a river, Piers. You haven't got a chance to win the Ashes back.
That was a pretty good shot there by Shelley. She nearly hooked around, probably a bit heavy.
just a fraction, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just a fraction quick for what you wanted.
So they've created, look, Pottsville's created a really nice little head here for them. And
This looks pretty well pointed.
I was going to say, Cora Nathan just there with her hands on her hat.
Between the jack and the ditch, just wanting it to pull up.
Well, is it? It's close.
Yeah, it has.
It'll count, I
has
think.
Stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stopped.
Can't quite see it. It's right behind the rink number, but it is definitely on the green.
How dare they put rink numbers on the rings? Getting in the way of my vision. But bit of work
Shot
now
here,
for
few
Shelley.
down. Really needs this one. Or at least to reduce the count. That's something like a similar line. It's all down to weight. Oh, this is a great shot.
Yeah,
here.
I reckon she's not far away.
Wow, what a bowl.
Oh, hats
It's a
off, everyone.
shot. Brilliant bowl.
Hats off, everyone. That's
And
a
a
great
toucher.
shot. Wowee. Just doesn't get any better than that.
That's fantastic. Yep. Nice confident call there. I'd really like to see that bowl removed after yours is finished. Nice and confident call to the skip. This won't be a draw shot from Coral, even though it is a toucher. Let's push it right into the ditch.
Yeah, give it a crack. Oh, she's not happy.
Okay, she maybe chances to bounce in and around. Oh, he's going to find the gap.
They played really
Michelle
perfect
Harkin,
weight.
that may have
I
just
reckon.
kept you in the game.
So one.
We have a couple of games finishing, gents. So I'm going to wander back upstairs, start entering some results in. Thanks for the lend of the phone charger.
Thanks for coming down and having a chat, mate. Appreciate you being here. We'll obviously we'll see you before the end of the day. So 1-0. There's the replay. What a fantastic shot.
Oh, we played the replay again, did we?
Yeah, 2 times.
Cool. I think I might have had it in.
It's worth seeing twice.
I think I flicked it to preview just as it went to. Was still playing, so it auto queued.
Worth seeing twice anyway. She's played a remarkable shot there. Feels a bit quiet in here without Lee in the room. Doesn't mind a chat, our Lee. There's a very good bowls administrator and executive bowls manager for Bowls New South Wales.
Yeah, I'm carrying him.
Yeah.
I'm modest too. No, it's good to have another pair of hands on deck after Junior went and left me in the lurch. in a 5-month search for a replacement. No, I'm good mates still with Dave.
Bloody hell.
We worked together very well. We understood each other. We were able to get cranky at each other and tell each other off, and 5 minutes later everything's okay because we knew where we stood.
Well, we had to work with it. You had to work with him. It's a good. That's when you know you're having a good relationship. I'm just moving some stuff around. Sorry for the key noise. Sound like I'm trying to run off and leave Andrew here all alone again.
Run off and join the Navy? No, you've already done
I
that.
did that once, much to my mother's disgust at the time.
Of course, we do thank our event partners. It's Destination Wollongong. Time to press play in Wollongong. For all information, go to visitwollongong.com.au. And, of course, Wollongong City Council, Fig Tree Sports, Taraji Park Bowls and Recreation Club, and Wiseman Park, Wollongong City, and, of course, our other event partner, TAB. And 2 to 4 today, the closest to the Jack competition underway again. Your chance to win a daily prize pack, including lots of nice little merchandise. There's a hat, cap, towel, water bottle in there. I like the look of the water bottle.
I like the towel.
Benny was... if you get the prize pack without the towel, chase Benny. The water bottle, me. No, we couldn't even wangle one for ourselves, unfortunately.
No, very strict on that, actually. So it was good. I went and had a go, but I didn't get them to... I've had 2 goes now, but I won't let them put my scores down because it's not a prize for me, it's a prize for you. Jump on out, it's free to enter, and all you can do is roll 2 bowls. I even managed to get fairly close with a tiny little size 2 that they had out there. It was like throwing a rock. These girls are playing a really good game here. I'm getting lost in the a little bit of side chat. Fours games tend to be a bit like this. There's a lot of action and then not much, and then a lot.
Well, if you jump on the Bowls New South Wales website and check out the news, you'll see this article, which will give you all the details, and there's the wonderful bowls you can win.
Aren't they pretty? Zoe Nichols has just popped on the line, and that reminds me. I've still got a big bag of Mentos here that Tom Rich didn't eat.
Well, she's just turned the blue bowl in, which is her opponent's, but was already shot, so hasn't really done any damage. So Patricia Pollard looking to add to this count. Well, how's the speed? Because the line looks pretty good. A little Ferrari's going to turn in. Well, it's just going to run through a little. The line was pretty good, just a little bit more width needed. Carmen, McDonnell, white with green specks.
Squiddies.
So I might have called them the frogs.
Oh, it's got a little logo on it that looks like a squid.
Oh.
So she calls it a squiddy.
Okie dokie. She's going to be just a slightly under that line too. I wonder if there's just a little more pace in this green than the ladies were expecting on this end.
I'm just going to ask the question, Andrew, what happened to Michael Hoover Harvey, who used to work with you?
Hooves doing very well for himself. He has a company that does...
Oh, great. Look at this.
Transport. Yes, great bowl. So he's got quite a bit of business to look after. He got a couple more contracts with that and just had to step back to concentrate on his livelihood. I was up in Manly the other day. I flicked him a text with a picture of the Manly Wharf and said, "I'm here, where are you?" Text came straight back, "I'm sitting in the bar 20 metres behind you." So I caught up with the Hooves then. He's a busy man all the time, running his global transport empire. We'll call it that, just out of
I like that very much.
No, I've got a lot of time for hers. He's very progressive.
So who do you think's holding shot there, mate?
I'd say it's 2.
Yep, so would I.
2.
I just don't know which
Coral
one.
Nathan's team. The red and the blue are both hers.
Yeah,
The green.
yeah, that's Carmen's out there from Dubbo.
I'm not sure whether the other Ferrari, just narrow, that was a bit narrow, counts. Shelley's going to be racing through.
Getting tricked, I think. I've seen a couple of heavy shots go through like that, really wide. So maybe a bit tricky as it's gone long, but I don't know. Just not picking the line on the heavy shots at the moment.
I think Coral needs to be just a little bit circumspect here. Doesn't want to touch too much. Behind is good.
Wants to sit, needs to stay up.
That one will stay up.
Has beautifully. Chalk mark on the ground there too. Interested once this end's done to see what's going on next door as well, by the way. There was a big score popping up there for a second.
Well, this is a bit tighter line, but it's not going to get back down quickly enough. I think what she was looking for was the split on those two bowls, which probably says she thinks she's 2 down.
Yeah, and with the Tweedy at the front, I think that's in the way. Maybe almost better to come the other way.
Oh, the rumble shot, I'm not sure which way. If you played the other hand and popped the blue touch, I think that's a toucher as well, straight onto the...
they're both touches, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be in all sorts of trouble.
And here comes Coral's got a pretty good shot here if the weight's right.
Just wants to plop on one of those bowls and flop in.
Sit, and it's flopped in, it is.
Yeah, I mean, if that jack that bowl had punched on and come back to the back, she'd have been down 3 or 4 shots. So, had to play the other hand and try and get the little split. And even with that tighter line, I think she'd have a run of risk.
Why don't men's shirts have pockets in them like that? I like these pockets.
Probably because whatever's in the pockets would push into the beer bellies.
And actually, I know why, because women's pants tend not to have pockets in the opposite direction.
Yes. A fact that my daughters frequently complained about because they, if they couldn't, had nowhere to put their phone.
My daughter's annoyed by it too. So I think that was 3. I think that's the way the measure went.
I'm pretty sure it was.
And a bit of a smile on the face there from the Pottsville ladies. I'll put a 3 there in the score just as a space fill until we confirm it. So 16-12 at the moment on 15. 4 shots in it total. It's not a huge amount of shots. Next door, that's still 5 on the Dalmeny score. We'll see what we can see what Narrabri's got. And Gary Paulley saying he's off to play some bowls himself at Camden. There's a lovely little club at Camden. Score going up now. That's another. Looks like more scores to Narrabri, but what that means is a little bit beyond us.
It's 28-5.
28-5 on that rank now. That's
16 ends.
Goodness me.
You can just see that in behind the...
I just saw it there on the top left. And
the Wollongong press play, and you can actually see it there now, easily.
28-5 is huge in that section.
Well, it does mean that Narrabri is in the box seat should Dubbo City have a victory. So as this section stands before this game, Pottsville are on 2 wins. They win, they're through regardless. If Dubbo City happen to get up, they need to win by 5 to overtake Pottsville at top spot, but Narrabri are on +1, so they need to win by 4 more than Dubbo City do, which they are well and truly doing. So they would overtake Dubbo City if Dubbo City win, and it would be Narrabri 1, Dubbo City possibly 2, and Pottsville 3 in the section. And if you want to see those tables, got a couple of options. You can jump on the Bowls Now app, which you can download for free, published by Bowls Australia, on your respective
Yep,
App
Android,
Store.
Google Play or the App Store.
Or you can jump on the Bowls New South Wales website, bowlsnsw.com.au, point your mouse at competitions from the drop-down, select Bowls Link results. If you tap results on the Bowls Now app or click on that link, it will bring you the same spot. There's 3 event headings there. State Junior Championships recently completed. They will disappear very, very soon and go into completed. But you've got the over 40s and the state championships. When you click on state champs, you've got the 21 events or competitions within the overall event that are there. You would want to click on the women's senior fours, and then you've got a chance to look at the matches, the tables, the final series, which of course will at the moment say TBA. Section winners will be populated into that final series lunchtime today.
Something I'm quite enjoying is Barbara Green here, and I haven't mentioned this, but Barbara Green is pretty much on these broadcasts. No, not pretty much, is here all the time on our broadcasts, and comments really, really nice things about the players and us sometimes too, even Andrew. And yeah, that third for Pottsville does. She's a great measurer. It's Tricia, isn't it? I think. And Graham Jones there watching from Bateau Bay. Jean and Graham, welcome. Glad you're here. And Barbara's interesting because when she comments, because she usually watches it on the YouTube stream rather than the Facebook, and jumps across to Facebook to comment, because that's what we all are.
That's 2 shots now to Dubbo City. Here comes the Ferrari. Oh, just going to fade underneath. I think it's still 2. Shelley keeping Carmen on that forehand side of the green. No, the backhand, sorry. Doesn't want to touch the shot bowl, but she's going to fade right across. Probably just choosing the clear air rather than risk running into the short bowl. And Tricia Pollard with the Ferraris. They certainly do stand out.
I love them. They're the reddest bowl. The first thing I saw when I walked up to greet them was those bright red bowls. They're one of the better colours I've ever seen. I haven't seen another set that colour. I'm sure they exist. I just have never seen them.
Well, Shelley's calling it a play tight to the red bowl. It's an interesting...
Yeah.
It's quite an aggressive move. Just wondering if it's second shot from that call. Well, she's not going to play tight to it. She's going to play the forehand. Needs to get...
Under there. Oh, bounced off it. Well, it's out of the way for that shot now.
Yeah, mine made the shot easier for Shelley. Don't mind the shot on that hand. The tight underneath, I'm just a bit at. You play tight underneath and you don't go narrow enough. You bang your own shot bowl, cannon the jack off to the left, and give the shot away. And you need to... Dubbo City, they need to win first off, but they also need to win strongly, because Narrabri, you can see the score next door. They're 23 shots in front. So
yeah,
they need to be up around the 19 victory at the moment, 19 or 20. For Pottsville, though, it's a fairly easy equation.
Oh, there.
Don't lose. And when you bowl like that...
That shot. Wowee.
2 down to 2 up. Thank you very much.
Flora Nathan's having some kind of game. She's a remarkable player. Has been here showing up on the other greens for the last few days in other in other formats of the game, but geez, really showing his skills here. That's brilliant. So a narrow shot there by Shelley. Going to cut again. Hasn't nailed those heavy shots very much. Really getting one thing right, but not the other. Mostly getting the weight right or the grass, but not both at the same time. Little head scratcher here. Looking around. So just looking at the top left, the Dalmeny girls just got a toucher, I think, and as the jack runs back, they got a bit excited there.
So just to reaffirm the section standings, Pottsville, a draw is good enough for them, I think. Yes, a draw is good enough for them. That will put them under 7 points. They won't be able to be caught. Dubbo City need to beat Pottsville by 5 to go ahead of Pottsville. But they also need to make sure that they win by at least, well, they need Narrabri's margin. They can have 2 less than Narrabri's margin, but, 3 less, but not 4 less. 4 less would make it interesting. It'd be make them even. Narrabri currently 23 in front, so Dubbo City would basically need to score 4 and 19 is another 23.
Yeah, they've got a long way to go if to compete here, and they're going to have to score big and score quickly, and I hope they're paying attention to the scores next door as well.
Well,
you have to assume they are. You know, they can't control that, but they can keep an eye on it. And just try to remember they're not just playing for, playing to beat the team they've got here. They've got to play to beat the team next door as well. So a tough position to be in, but one they'll have to look at.
Well, they're having a tough enough time winning.
Yeah, that's right. Well put.
And they've held a few shots, and Coral Nathan has played some screamers. So has Shelley Harkin.
Yeah, Shelley Harkin's drawing really beautifully. It's just the heavier shots are getting away from her a bit. And I said that confidently, and then look at this.
Yeah, she's going to pump the yellow one onto the jack, though. No real damage. I think it's still 2.
Yeah, hasn't. I think she's hurt her cause, but she didn't do herself any real favours either, sadly.
Oh, and as we speak, the scoreboard next door's changed. Only 20 shots the difference.
That's it. 28-8. Oh, she's putting chocks on and everything. This is some kind of...
Yeah, I don't know if the chock is useful on that side of the bowl, though. Seems to be leaning the other way.
Yeah. Interesting that she's carrying that, though. Maybe the girls have too many pockets in there. It's a lot of things.
I'll carry chocks when I play third. But I'm a geek nerd. Laws person, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, you mentioned Pam being an ITO. I'm pretty sure there's only one other ITO in New South Wales.
Yep. I think I'm sitting next to him. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
There might be a third one. Don't quote me on that one. I think that was 2. Yep, 2 to Pottsville. And they're just edged that little bit closer to booking their place in the semis. They're starting to look in a very good position towards that. I'm not going to declare them there. No way. Only got to see one bad end, and all of a sudden there's bad from Pottsville's perspective, good from Dubbo City's, and all of a sudden it's game on again.
Overgreen saying thirds should. All right, fine. I'll start carrying chocks. I've got some in my bag. I just don't put them in my pocket. I have too many pockets as it is. Too many things. Trish Welsh saying she loves those Minnie Mouse bowls. I love them too. They're great. If I could have a... Looking at those now, I'm a little bit jealous. Then I might go and get some marked up with my little face on them. They're a fantastic colour. Oh. Cora's the chairman of the club board and does a great job. She's playing an amazing game here at the moment. And good on her. Involved in the game and obviously very keen, so we love that. I quite like the Pottsville outfits too. I did mention that while I was up there. They're good colours. So how the lead's going here? It's a short end again. A little bit just a little bit over medium. And here comes Tweedy. Just a little short. The old Henselite Dreamlines. Not XGs, the older model. What would XG stand for, do you think? Extra good?
No. Yeah, I've got a feeling we only have 2 ITOs in New South Wales currently. There's a nice long list of Australian ITOs on the World Bowls website. And one of the ladies on that is another member of NOAG, is Sue Hogg.
Extra grass, Scotty says. Sorry, yep, Sue Hogg.
From Western Australia.
Mother of Brad Hogg.
Mother of George Bradley Hogg, yes, the former Australian cricketer.
Plays at Mount Lawley. No, my apologies, North Perth.
Wonderful lady who is very technical on the laws.
Yeah, I got to meet her at the Australian Open. I think she's fantastic.
She officiated at the last Commonwealth Games in Manchester.
Yeah, Perth's got a good smattering of ex-cricketers and ex-footy players at bowl. I can tell you that, well, he's a current, apparently, footy player at the moment. Nick Nadanui plays out of Mount Lawley. David Weirpunda plays at North Perth. He's actually a super keen bowler and a coach, and there's rumours that, I'll just put it out there, that he might end up being the next coach of the Perth Suns.
Well, you talk about footy players. There's one that plays here.
Oh, yeah?
That you won't know because you follow the
Australian
wonky
coach,
ball.
yeah.
But John Doherty, the former Steelers legend, plays out of Fig Tree.
Oh, look at this. That'll be the shot. So Dubbo just claiming the shot. Sorry, what was his name?
John Doherty.
John Doherty.
Played for Manly as well, I think. Steelers, and
he's on the West Tigers board of directors.
Yep, there you go.
Well, their little Ferrari bowls, the little Minnie Mouses just ran in. Trisha there, I don't think she got the shot, but played a really good. It was a really good effort. Just a metre past by the look of that. Looks closer from our camera angle, but
he was out having a roll up when we dropped in some gear here the other day.
You know his nickname is Joe Cool. That's disturbing. And that's
Ball down from Carmen.
a bowl by
That'll
Carmen.
be shot.
That's the shot without a doubt.
Could be holding a couple here, Dubbo City. Oh, this looks pretty good as well. Coral urging it on. She doesn't need to. It's going to get right down to the jack.
Perfect.
Fantastic bowl.
Touch-up.
You sort of feel that Pottsville's just building here. He noses in front. Pottsville would be well aware that there's a big score next door and that if they lose, they're gone. Carmen, friendly little slide, gets a little touch on the shot bowl, but doesn't disturb it enough. And Shelley has got a chance here. The two bowls straight back on the line are both hers. Doesn't want a big whack on the shot bowl, but she gets enough draw weight down to her own two back on the centre line. Just gets a nice little edge on that Ferrari red shot bowl. Should kick the jack back to her own. Maybe lucky enough to follow through and make a triple. And they do need some shots if they want to play in the semis. Because not only do they need to win, they'll need to win pretty comfortably now with Narrabri well in front. So if Narrabri win by 20, Dubbo City will need to win by 17. So that means they'd need to get to 33 at least at the moment, and they've got 6 ends to get 21 shots. And if we use Dave Ellis's you're in trouble equation, anything over 1.5 per end you need, you're going to struggle. Oh, it's a good effort from Shelley. Just a little bit under the line. Not sure that weight will be good if she gets that bowl fat. The jack will pinball around, I think, and if it shoots out to left of screen, the red and maroon are all against her. Oh, corals. Covering the other side of the rink. She's got to try and get some sort of disturbance here. I think she's going to be just under the line again, unless she gets... Oh, well, that'll help.
Yeah, that's a... There's the touch. That was all it needed. Just to kick Jack back a little.
Might have just made the single.
I'll find out, because Jack did hit and roll back slightly. But, look, tape's coming out.
Well, she gave it a chance. Might not have been perfect line, but it was close enough to being in the area to get the result. Carmen will pop the tape on this.
Yeah, they just put some chocks down there as well. So, Barb Green, Andrew, just saying that Pam co-runs the umpires group meetings, and she learns a lot from Pam. Yeah, Pam's got a wealth of knowledge. And Ian Whalen, once again, watching from, gets around a bit, Pine Creek, but that's 2 to Dubbo City.
Well,
after a great shot, from Shelley Harkin. Just to shift Jack around a bit. And 16-14 on the scoreboard. 16 ends down, 5 to go.
It's 31-8 next door now.
Lord.
Well, I think Dubbo City's chances have all but evaporated with that scoreline next door.
Yeah,
I'll never say never, but Narrabri, they're relying on Dubbo City for a strong finish, and I think Dubbo City, they won't give up. They'll continue to push for a victory.
They want to win this game without a doubt. I would. There's no way I'd be packing it in now.
Just depends on whether, though, Dubbo City have started the game well aware of the equation with Narrabri, or they've just gone out to play to win.
Play to win and watch it happen, yeah.
Yeah, I think if you'd gone out with the knowledge that if Narrabri win big, you're in trouble, and if you went out with that, the batteries just to be flattened a bit because you know that you're not going to get there.
The second time I've heard that expression today after never having hearing it before.
Oh, I pinched it off you, Bo. But it just is a good description of when you... Just that momentum's gone. You're at the point of resignation. I mean, you're going to battle on, but it's a bit like playing the fourth last end in a sides game. You're the only one out there. You might be in front on your rink, but the other two rinks have been pounded. So you've got 2 or 3 ends to go and you're 21, 22 behind. You're going to try to get the maximum count and stay in it, but the brain says, realistically, you're gone, son. You're gone. It's a bit like you might be playing a match and you're well behind on the big board, and all of a sudden in a pennant game, all 3 rinks pick up a count, and it's all of a sudden that little bit of squirt of adrenaline, of excitement, or maybe we can do this. On a team game, you might be 10 behind, you pick up a 3 or a 4, and all of a sudden it's, well, hang on a minute, we're not gone. You can throw some pressure back on your opponents. It's Jill Morris holding shot now, the black bowl, and the effect the sun's dropped down. We can actually tell the colours this end now.
Yeah, and the sun's up there and there's some little bit of cloud across. I was actually just about to jump up and have a look and stick my head out and see what it's like there now. And I think I will. I'll leave you for a minute, 30 seconds. I'll just jump out and see what's going on.
Going to be close to getting another toucher here. Oh, it's been ripped right back. A maroon bowl is Marie Comerford. Girls really like seeing me moving the cameras around, obviously. So Carmen, not many options, just needs to draw. I think it's a green bowl, so that is actually a Dubbo City bowl. Closest to the ditch would be second shot. Coral calling Patricia down the backhand side. Did expect a little bit of cloud cover today. Despite that, it's not expected to get too cool. Expected to be around about the 22, 23 mark.
Yeah, it's nice and warm out there, and just jumped up to the top of the stairs to have a look around. It's there is a little cloud. It's not thick, deep, horrible, menacing cloud. It's just a little bit overcast and a lovely warm day.
Well, if it stops before the sand, it has.
Yeah, it's a celebration from Coral. Love that. We love a good shot like that, and so does Coral. Good girl. Excellent.
Well, the big thing there is it covers the ditch. The green bowl closer to the centre line than that on the edges. Dubbo Cities, Carmen, she's just going to be under the line.
Gotta love that. Well done, Coral. As good as the shot from Tricia was, the celebration was just as good as well. Beautiful.
Oh, what can she do for an encore?
Let's hope she does it again. That put a real smile on my face. Well done. I love it. These are just the best people.
Well, it's pretty well pointed again.
Yeah, it's not far, is it?
It's even better.
Stand up, take your hat off. That is 2 of the most remarkable bowls that you'll ever see. Wow. Off the line, right near the ditch, And she's dropped them both in beautifully. Just magnificent. Unbelievable.
That is great.
Highly skilled ladies out there playing at the moment. I can't really pick who's going best, but those red ones maybe have stood out a bit. But between her and Coral, I think they're the ones playing best on the green at the moment. As I look around the field while they're having a chat, pretty close games mostly around. I think there's Chris Carey from St Ives up 23-9 to Boris Schneider from Maroonbula. Schneider's struggling a bit, but after 18 ends, one finished game, which is Trent Whittingham from Penrith, has got over Hemi Palmer from Halakalani after 21 ends, 24-18. Another completed game there. Corey Daly from Park Beach wins 17-13 over Shannon White from Foster. Lee Schreiner's doing very well at the moment, 23-5 after 15. And Sue Moore, here's one for you. Most beautiful St George's girls there are winning against Ann Johns from Engadine. 17-15 after 16 ends. That'll be a turn up for the books. However, Karen Murphy on 35-10 at the moment over. That game's finished. 35-10 over Pam Nicol from Condolban, and that puts the Cabramatta team through, I think, after 3 wins.
Well, the Black Bowl coming up was another Pottsville Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's the.
That's Jill Morris's
Tweety Birds.
Yep.
The Henson.
Oh, hang on. No, the Black Bowl is Laurace Lawson's.
Laurace's, Tweety's the Dreamlines.
Jill Morris's bowls are the blue ones. I thought they were black early on because of the sun.
Because of the sun, the way it was shown.
No, that actually helps in a way. But how does she get shot? I think it's maybe still 2 or 3 though.
So the biggest